Hello, everybody. Welcome to Drop Pod, the only show where exactly.
Yes. We're nothing. I love it.
I just want to apologize for a recent comment I had made on last week's episode related to stasis. Please don't. No turf war, especially against me. I only read the patch notes. Stasis had gotten tuned, but as people posted their videos and shared their data, we have still found that stasis, or at least shatter dive, a ability used by the hunters. The combo that was supposed to be nerfed over the weekend last week, it's still one-shotting, and it's still one-shotting through supers, especially roaming supers, which is supposed to be like, so they're supposed to be tanky because you waited half the game to be able to use it. But I just wanted to get that out of the way. No Destiny rant, at least not yet, due to a certain topic that's going to come up later. I will leave that to Mala though when it arrives. Speaking of Mala, he's not here this week. Um, I don't really know what happened. So we got his lookalike. He said everything would be fine. I didn't really catch his name though.
Yeah, just because I'm a lookalike doesn't mean I sound alike. That's the thing about lookalikes. We don't sound alike.
You sounded like him earlier. I don't know what happened.
It's clearing my throat.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
What's your name, fella?
Name. my name's my name's Arthur. Arthur Johnsman.
Arthur Johnsman, huh?
Yep.
Uh, what's your username again?
That would be at Arthur Johnsman.
Oh yeah?
Yep. Sorry, I got a bit of a cold.
You gonna be alright?
Yep.
Mala didn't tell me you were sickly or anything. Are you okay? You good?
No.
What seems to be the issue? I mean, we could have sorted this out before the podcast began, but Mala assured me that you were top quality, and
How often does Mallow even tell the truth? Yeah, have you ever played Among Us with him? He's bad.
once or twice.
Yeah.
So Arthur, did you bring any topics to Drop Pod this week?
Yeah, actually, I did.
Oh.
Uh. No, this is Mala now. I have chest bursted out of Arthur. Arthur is now a husk. He's dead. It's me. Here I am. It's Mala. It's Mala.
Welcome.
Thanks. That's my Hannibal entrance. That's my backflip. I chest bursted out of another human being. They're now dead.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Admitted to the crime and everything.
Yeah, just cut this out.
Oh, of course.
It's fine.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Anyway, as I flick the blood off of me, so some interesting stuff from the Resident Evil 4 remake that is currently in the works. What was that? Last year we had gotten the RE3 remake, but sources are saying that Capcom is overhauling its plan for the remake for RE4, in which that the studio that handled RE3, which was M2, they are now being given a much less significant role in the remake, and instead it's going to be more so handled by Capcom's Division 1, which worked on Devil May Cry 5 and another recent game.
Quite a CV they got there.
Yeah.
Quite the work history.
But essentially, there were disagreements in regards to M2 wanted to have the remake go in a bit of a different direction, kind of like the RE3 remake went, while Capcom disagreed, and they wanted it to be more of a one-for-one, I believe. So like essentially kind of the same thing, but like inspired in its own unique way, rather than cutting out a bunch of stuff like RE3 did. Which, I mean, I'm personally glad that Capcom recognized that, because they cut out so much stuff from the original RE3 on the PS1. Like they cut out significant areas, enemies, bosses,
Game modes.
Yeah. But RE2 had them. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. The only issue is now the project is essentially seeing a reboot. So it's now possibly being pushed back to as late as 2023, which sucks. But I hope at least we can get some more info on it soon enough. What I didn't know, though, is M2 was founded by a former Platinum Games head, Tatsuya Minami. And then there were also employees from Platinum and also developers from Metal Gear Rising and the Bayonetta 2 teams.
Bayonetta,
But it's like you have that much talent, I guess, on stock. And like you I don't know, they mishandled RE3 remake. I definitely say.
Yeah. Love the game. It's just it was gutted.
I would just love to know what the reason was for deciding to take out all those sections from RE3. Like, they mentioned, what was it, the clock tower in the remake, and that it was like, it was still under construction or something. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You went to it. There was a whole thing with the clock tower in the original game. Did you play the original RE3?
Mm-hmm.
I never finished it.
What do you remember? Or, sorry, what do you remember doing last in the original?
Let's see. I believe had played it for a bit right after I had finished the Resident Evil 1 director's cut on the original PlayStation 1. I was playing on the PS2. I wasn't playing it like emulator or anything, but I don't think I made all that significant progress. I think I was still kind of loping around the streets. I don't know, it was maybe like an hour in and just like exploring.
Yeah, I feel that.
I earnestly don't remember where I was specifically last. Just that I was still roaming around the streets.
That's how I felt about Morrowind. It's like I remember I beat it. I was never good at it because yeah, it's not like Elder Scrolls 4 where you just had, map markers and you basically knew where the hell you were gonna go next.
Well, not even that with or just even like, well, yeah, anything past Morrowind, because it's like you get your weapon near somebody, you're gonna hit them. In Morrowind, it's like you're rolling the dice, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm right next to him, miss, miss, miss. Let me tell you, uh, I played an Argonian, and as one of my first characters, and I slaughterfish in the water were some of the most dangerous enemies in the game to me. I played. Oh, what did you play Morrowind on originally?
Original Xbox.
Ah, fuck yeah.
Yes. I think the most I think the most dangerous enemy was playing the game on a CRT television and not being able to see anything.
Oh wait, what are we talking about? It was Cliff Racers. It's always Cliff Racers.
They scared me.
They popped out of fucking everywhere.
You know what really scared me in that game?
Is that
It's a really early quest that you could do where I think it was a dark elf that gives you a or he tests the potion on himself first, but he just slingshots into the air. He comes back down, and then you go up to him, you pick up his potion, and then you follow through, thinking, "Oh, well, maybe the same thing's not going to happen to me, or maybe I
no?
just gained an ability right now." Then you get slingshotted into the air and just die, and then lose a lot of progress, and you're like, "Oh, okay, that was totally worth the
No,
effort."
you're misremembering that. You wander into like the wilderness, and you hear somebody scream, and a wizard falls from the sky, and he has written this note about his like levitation spell, but it ended up fucking throwing him up into the air, and then you have the opportunity to go ahead and use that spell or equipment, whatever it was, however he activated it, and then you can kill yourself. That was a part of a quest, if I remember. It was just kind of there.
Couple cliff notes. I just want to throw out.
Spark notes.
Let me know in the comments or Discord. I know we have a couple of fight fans in the L Jumper server. Poirier versus McGregor, one of the first UFC events of this year, and they're always really huge. Uh, and one of the first UFC events that's pay-per-view online. So if you watch the fight, let me know what you thought. Let me know what the I by the time this says, sorry, during the recording right now, this fight would have already ended, I believe. So let me know what you thought of it. I will not be watching it, obviously, but
Hmm.
uh, really interesting to see how the lack of a crowd has an impact on these fighters and what impact does it make on just the cast in general, the shoutcasters and production crew. Um, Other than that, System Shock pre-orders will now go live next month,
I'm sorry.
and with the pre-orders, they will
I'm sorry.
include they will include the demo for the pre-order. So that's gonna be huge. So pre-orders next month. Remember,
Where'd you hear that from?
remember, no pre-orders. This was reported 7 hours ago on Games Radar, and I had saved that. I think it was written by Vicky.
Yeah, that's the first I heard of that.
Well, 7 hours ago. So,
Oh yeah.
so that's huge. Haven't
Huh.
heard hide nor tail of it,
Yeah,
and
I
we're
thought it
just
was in development hell.
I did too, and I was rooting for it.
Like legitimately in development hell.
Yep,
They couldn't find anybody to pick up the game or something like that.
I thought they were doing it in house. They were just everything just got. They said fuck it. They did a Kickstarter, and they were just like, yeah, we're doing this. This is what's going on.
Oh, maybe I'm just extremely behind on that news then. I don't know, I haven't followed it too closely. I never played which was this was for System Shock 1.
Hmm.
Yeah, I never played that one. Um
Uh,
I played a little bit of 2, but I didn't make any significant progress. I got to the first part in which you see the fun little psychic monkeys.
System Shock 2 is one of my favorite games because it mixed horror with RPG, and at the time I thought, man, that was so fucking cash. The problem with System Shock 1 though was it was just the controls. It was really different. It felt like a
I've seen System Shock 1 gameplay. Yeah, it's kind of it almost looks like a sort of an old and click.
well, I was going to say it's more akin at least to me as one of those old pen and paper style dungeon crawlers.
Right, yeah.
If you played Legend of Grimrock, you'd kind of know what I mean, but it
Oh no, I do. I've played Legend
this
of
was
Grimrock.
this was towards the audience. I know you've played it.
No, you don't. I
Legend
don't
of
mention I played it.
You didn't have to. I own the game.
Don't stack me.
May I help you?
Don't stack me. Stop looking at my Steam.
Anyway, the System Shock 1 was a little hard to get into because of those sort of controls. I think I got halfway through. I cannot be certain. But when System Shock 2 came out, uh, I knew that I kind of just liked where that was going. Um, I had mentioned last week that we really depend on these remasters doing well. And this is going to be a really good instance of that if it does well. I never hope for a game, especially of this caliber, where it's a remaster of something that is so classic, so timeless. And
Right.
we're going to get into another one later. But for a project like this, it's important that it does well because there's an entire, maybe like 2 generations almost, that never got to really experience the game.
Yeah.
So it's going to be pretty important. I think System Shock kind of paved the way for how a lot of modern dungeon crawlers can kind of handle it, or not dungeon crawlers, sorry, but RPGs can kind of handle it. Um, Pretty good example. It's not an RPG, but a good example uh, of a game that took what System Shock was and kind of made it its own was the original BioShock.
Yeah. Yeah.
And don't know what happened to why did they end it at Infinite?
Infinite did well, but then once people started to think about it, they were like, wait, this game's story is kind of fucking pretentious and up its own ass. Because it tried to be so convoluted, and it's just like there was sort of no reason for it.
Hmm.
Uh, that's just what I remember hearing from the past. And then they released some DLC, and that did okay, I guess.
Remember when the HD releases of BioShock 1 and 2 came out? That didn't run so well on my systems.
Yeah,
I wonder if it's changed now because I love BioShock 1 and 2, but
I think it might have. It might
I
be a little bit better.
but the fact that you can play the game at 60 FPS, like I would much prefer to do that if it just ran accordingly.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it for a while. Want to stream Bioshock series at some point because like for all of its pretentiousness towards the end and kind of some of its dumber things that Infinite did, it was still a fun game. I did
Oh yeah.
enjoy it, but I only ever went through it once.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like with Bioshock 1 and 2 on the Xbox 360 at least, I went through it or both of them multiple times.
Um,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened with Infinite.
I I'm gonna come out and say that I never played Infinite. I own it.
Really?
I have never played it because in my mind, I already had it in my head. By the time I had actually gotten the game, Thief had came out, the reboot. And that was a fucking train wreck. And I had put all my eggs into one basket on that game. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be kick ass. I love Thief. But then I didn't after Thief left that impression in my mouth, I was just like, yeah, I'm probably not gonna
Wait,
enjoy Infinite either because I just
wait.
felt
Were you actually listening to anybody? Uh, Whenever like the Thief trailers and like little game dev diaries were coming out,
no, I
or
tried my best not to.
yeah, if you would have scrolled down to the comments, you would have seen, and you would have been like, "Oh yeah, what?" Like, the Thief, just Thief, had so many just things that were like, in comparison to the older games, that were like, "Oh, you can do this, and it's very easy and straightforward." And it's like, well, no, that makes the game stupidly easy. Or it's like, "Oh, and you can highlight the objects in the environment, and you can do this and quick time events." And it's like, oh, stop. No, that's not what Thief is. In the combat, here's the no, Thief does not have combat.
It was almost like they took a page out of Splinter Cell Blacklist's book. I want to touch
Yeah.
on this too, by the way. Splinter Cell Blacklist was a good game. I'm going to come out and say that as a devout Splinter Cell fan that grew up with the original Splinter Cell 1. Uh, Chaos Theory will always remain one of my favorite games to date. But I don't think it was fair to judge the game based on a recast uh, of Sam Fisher, and I also think that if you play it today, it's gonna be kind of like a slog because I mean the game it's fuck old by today's standards. Like it's old.
August 20th, 2013.
Yeah, it's past its due date, but
Was this the one that added in co-op?
every Splinter Cell game has their own variety of co-op.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I played the original one, but I didn't get too far in it at all.
So Chaos Theory,
It was very, very slow for me at the time.
the first Splinter Cell.
Yeah, well, like I played games on my PS2, like I don't know, more action oriented games, compared to, you know, slow stealth and methodical type of gameplay like that. So I mean, like, that's my own fault. I'm not I wouldn't say the game's shit or anything. That's my own fault for at the time not appreciating what it was.
Uh,
But I did like the atmosphere. It had some nice fucking atmosphere. I definitely would say that much. I appreciate it as a kid.
Splinter Cell Chaos Theory looks better than most games, and I will say that publicly right now. Splinter Cell Chaos Theory looks so good in its age. It's kind of crazy how how Ubisoft back then put like all the stops on this one game because I mean it was like top of the world. They had composer
That was the
a
first one.
no Chaos Theory uh
Second one?
third. The
Third.
second one was Pandora Tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So I wasn't sure if Splinter Cell just had like a subtitle for the
So, yeah,
first game, or if it was just Splinter Cell. I couldn't remember.
so
I
yeah,
guess it was just
Splinter Cell,
yeah,
Splinter
it was
Cell
just Splinter
Pandora
Cell.
Tomorrow. You had Chaos Theory. Then you had Double Agent. Double Agent was a pretty special title because that was one of the first titles that had a Xbox release and a Xbox 360 release, same as Far Cry.
Mm.
and both of those games had basically different versions depending on what system you played. Double Agent kicks ass on the original Xbox. I will throw hands with anybody that thinks otherwise. Uh,
I mean,
then
even the original Splinter Cell looked pretty goddamn good.
oh yeah,
Because I mean, you had
uh,
to pay attention to all the lighting cues and whatnot.
after Double Agent, it basically went dark for a long ass time, and then Conviction came out. I guess that's like a reboot. And then after Conviction, we had Blacklist, and now we are patiently waiting for another game. Now that we have the original voice actor for Sam Fisher back on the prowl, and people are thinking, oh, maybe he'll do something because he's been in every single thing that hasn't involved this character from the somehow they released Sam Fisher into Rainbow Six Siege as his own like little thing, so he's like one of the agents in the game now. He's in Ghost Recon Breakpoint as like a signature character for one of the story beats that had came out recently. And then they
Uh,
also included him in some regard in Wildlands. I'm just like, damn, if they have him in all of this stuff with the original voice actor, I wonder what the hell they're trying to do.
Trying to resurrect Tom Clancy via necromancy.
Oh, the fact that you bring that up, Microsoft had finally committed to the patent that basically if somebody dies, you can basically bring them back in spirit based on uh, their chat history, their basically their photos and stuff, and you can basically have them as like a chat bot. And I felt like, man,
That's fucked.
that is so fucked. But
That's
it
fucked.
it brings up a really good quote by I think Tesla, who said, "You are going to live in a time where you are going to see man-made horrors beyond your comprehension." And I mean, this is
Yeah.
one of those things, and it's like I don't know what the intent of this is. Um,
It's like, have you ever tried to comprehend God? But then more specifically, have you ever tried to comprehend where God came from? What was before the Big Bang? It's beyond human comprehension. That's a subject I find so fascinating. Because like even with the universe continuing to grow and expand, it's like, what's beyond the edge of the universe? Is it nothing? Is it something? But nothing is something.
you have to find out, man.
Man, I love that redundancy though. It's nothing something, it's something nothing. But if something is nothing, is it something?
I okay, so here's something that's interesting for you. Do you
Something or
remember
nothing. Sorry.
do you remember the actress Audrey Hepburn? Obviously she was before her time a little bit.
Name sounds familiar.
She's basically an icon. She's recognized as an icon. Um she was in what we deem as like the golden age of film. Uh, she had died somewhere in the 90s, and when that happened,
93.
93, so
Yeah, 93. She was 63.
ooh. Uh, when she had died, it was not until much later there was a commercial that had came out that was using well Audrey Hepburn. She was long dead.
Hmm.
It could have been Coca-Cola, but it's akin to that where
I just like to imagine Coca-Cola just took her likeness, or I'm sorry, just took her without anybody's permission. They aired the commercial, and then everybody stood up and said, "What the fuck is this?"
okay, all right, so no, it was Dove chocolate. Sorry, Coca-Cola. Don't burn me at the stake.
Okay, Dove Chocolate steals her corpse, puts it on air, airs the commercial. Everybody then stands up and says, "What the fuck is this?"
Well, this brought up an interesting talking point. It's like, okay, so when you die, like, what are your rights after death in terms of this? And if Microsoft is able to do whatever the hell they want because they had your data, and you died, so you don't give a fuck. It's it's just kind of crazy. It's like, so Audrey Hepburn, long dead. 2014 rolls along, she's just in a commercial again, full likeness, everything, eating Dove, and it's just like, man, that is something beyond my comprehension.
Well, the answer is easy, of course. What are your rights after you die? The answer is dead to rights.
I don't.
Gonna head back into Arthur's chest now. Excuse me.
No, not the sound effect on top of that one. I just find it. I want to see where this goes and how much talk is this going to get, because you cannot let something like this just slip under the radar. This has to be talked about. The there was good.
I was gonna say, think about with Star Wars Rogue One. They brought back Grand Moff Tarkin as another actor, but they got permission from his family to use dialogue from the movies he was in, the Star Wars movie specifically, to then synthesize his voice and then computer generate his face on top of another actor. And they brought him back slightly younger than what he was in A New Hope, and well, that's it, A New Hope. What I want to see that technology used for, though, is Stan Lee, because the man with a million cameos must continue to make cameos, and
Okay.
if they don't fucking do that, that'll be the most disappointing thing I've seen in my pitiful existence.
Okay, that's an interesting stance.
If they don't take
you have,
advantage of that.
because, well, now I have two questions for you. But my first question is, so in the case of, let's say, Audrey Hepburn, is it okay as long as the family says, yeah, go ahead, fuck it? But then
You're dead. I'd say it's fine.
two is that morally right to have somebody that was just long dead just come back up just for the entertainment of others?
I would say, like with the Dove commercial, I feel like they were probably trying to swing it like an angle with like, ooh, here's Audrey Hepburn. And like, here's the thing, and you know, the thing she did, and like the commercial was styled like around her and that time, possibly. Whereas something like Grand Moff Tarkin and hopefully like Stan Lee, it's more of a, I'd say it's more of a, at least with Grand Moff Tarkin, it's like more of a continuity type of thing, so you don't have to recast and then recreate like the character. And then with Stan Lee, again, it's just like he made so many cameos. It would be like a shame for his legacy and his life to just stop when, well, he stops. I'd say if you have permission with the family, I think that's fine. But if it's like studio heads being like, yeah, fuck you, we're gonna do what we want. Or like they claim rights to his figure.
Sorry.
But yeah, if they like claim rights to his like person, I think that's sort of weird. I know we were talking about it last night, or maybe I was with Michael, but it's weird, like to copyright or like for a studio to claim the rights on somebody's, you know, physical appearance.
Okay, all right. So this leads into what I was going to bring up. So I believe it was Ariana Grande, but she there was something on some social media platform. I think it was Instagram at the time. She liked the picture that she was in and had used the photo, and she she came back to it later on to realize she's getting sued over the photo that was taken by another party, but she's in the photo. That's her. So it's interesting that
Well, how was the photo used?
uh could have been a profile picture. I don't know. I don't have the article on hand, and here. In fact, um, why are we doing this?
I don't know. Why are we?
Why are we doing this to
Why are we here?
ourselves?
Just to suffer?
Mams.
Well, what was your point?
The the whole thing is she's in the photo, so therefore, why doesn't it's her likeness? So why isn't she allowed to use that media if it's just a photo of her? She didn't edit it in any way. She just used the photo, and then that was that.
Again, it depends on the context in which you used it in, but
So what
it
wouldn't make it okay? Because again, it's
see that's
her.
that's a line that you really need to dig into copyright law for, because I have no idea. I feel like I've maybe heard of something similar to that, but it's such a fucking rabbit hole of, okay, but it's me. Yeah, but I took a picture of you. I took the picture. You don't get to use the picture of you. Okay, but it's a picture of me. Yeah, but no, but I took the picture.
Okay.
It's like it's that kind of back and forth.
Here we go. Ariana Grande sued by same paparazzi for second time for using their photo on her Instagram. January 8th of 2020. Um, she was sued by the paparazzi. I don't know who the ominous they is in this party. Uh, apparently, because this happened twice, they were like, "Oh, we're gonna teach her this fucking celebrity using our publicated content for your own
I
gain
mean,
when you have like 8 billion people following you, you buck. We're over here
I think
starving."
part of it is just credit. They want credit.
Okay, but then the
Also, they
second,
could I mean, they could just be, bloodthirsty, want
so
money.
on on the coin of Ariana Grande, her fans, sorry, her fans came to her defense saying, "Well,
Well, of course.
you photographed her without her consent. Clearly, if you're a paparazzo, it's like it's not
And
like
see,
she."
that's another thing.
So,
That's a
who are you to say that she can't do whatever she wants with the photo?
mm.
Uh, in fact, quote, Ariana Grande is being sued for posting a picture that a Pops took of her on IG. And because she posted it, he's claiming she is stealing his work. Like, what the actual expletive, uh, end quote. Being sued for posting a picture someone took of yourself, like she can sue him for taking a pic without her consent. It's, I'm more interested in the gray area of all of this in terms of just
I mean,
using one's likeness. If it is
what year was that article?
again January 8th of 2020.
I feel like nothing probably came of that, and there was probably no settlement because it's like, dude, it's her. It, she wanted to use a picture of herself.
I
Like, as confusing and back and forth as it can be, it's like, all right, but it's still her. She wanted to use her picture.
let us know what you think about that, dear viewer. I am just interested as a
I am
spectator.
unsure.
What would you say? Now?
I said I am unsure
Oh,
what to think. You're interested. I'm unsure.
I'm just a spectator. I'm only interested in the morality of the issue, not the issue itself.
Yeah.
The I I was staunchly against it. If Stanley was to be used in a film, his full likeness, voice, and all, I honestly would be kind of sad. But at the same time, if the family was going, oh yeah, no, this is fine, this is whatever. Okay, well then it's
Yeah, that's the only way I'd be fine with it.
oh then
I wouldn't
okay.
want them to do it without any permission.
But
But it's
then
like it's just a simple cameo. Like, I don't watch, is it Marvel?
yes,
No.
the
Okay,
MCU.
okay. Okay. Um yeah, I don't really watch any superhero movies to begin with, but it's like I know that the cameos Stan Lee makes, even in like the animated shows, it's like, oh shit, yeah, there's Stan Lee. It's like, oh, it's cool, he's in another project. This is how much he cares for his works and such. Um, I'd want him there for that reason, not because like, oh, you have to. But it's like I'd like the family. I'd like them to ask the family for permission, not just do it because, hey, look at this. You remember this? You remember this guy?
I don't want it to be done just for entertainment purposes. I would want this to be done just because okay, the folks involved,
Yeah.
immediate family, loved ones, they should be fine with it first and foremost. But then at the same time, it would be kind of weird just knowing, wow, that guy's dead, dude. Like he's dead, and I'm just they were able to through dark magic bring the soul back to the big screen.
I mean, again, Grand Moff Tarkin. That's how they did it with him.
And I guess there it is. I pose the $1,000,000 question to you, dear viewer. It is up to you to find out what you think. The only reason why I'm not staunchly against it anymore is because, well, again, I'm just a spectator at this point. Just like, all right, let's see how this is gonna go. Where will this go in terms of Microsoft just doing whatever the hell because they have the data to do it? Is just there has to be a morality issue there, and that's why I brought up
Yeah.
earlier. Make sure that this gets talked about because if this doesn't, this is going to be one hell of a ride. If they're just able to basically say, "Yeah, he's not dead. What are you talking about? We got him in
I
there."
don't understand. I don't understand who would want that though.
People that can't let go. They don't
I mean,
realize.
I'm not going to deny there's not a market there, but
My little Timmy, he was taken. He was too young. If I could only talk to him one more time.
through my Microsoft chat window.
And I feel like it would be sophisticated enough to where it would use one's mannerisms.
Okay, but what if all you could pull from conversations and like messages were just like off of Discord?
I was thinking
And
about that. They're like Twitch
and
chat.
so it's like Twitch chat, and it's like the mother, she gets on the computer, she's sent into the room, she gets on the computer, she sits down, and a single monitor is sitting on a table, and she types in the chat window, "Hello, is this Jimmy?" And then it says a little message, Jimmy is typing, and then the message Jimmy sends is, "Hey baby, how about that sex last night? Was it pretty good, huh?" Oh,
multiple
it's my Jimmy!
multiple expletives followed by the N word used repeatedly because you know that's how they talk.
Pog! Pog!
Veering away from that, I wanted to bring up some upcoming releases. Thought that would be fun.
Oh, more?
Upcoming releases in terms of this month and bleeding into February, as we are at the tail end of January. Are you prepared?
That's crazy.
Are you,
January was a long year.
are you prepared?
I guess.
Then let us begin.
I could hear the smile on your face. Disgusting.
Control re-released to PlayStation 5 and the Xbox X/S. Confusing. Will release on
Great.
February the 2nd. Neo 2 Remastered will release on PlayStation 5 on February 5th.
Well, no, it's a Neo 2 with like a full collection for the PC, and then or no, wait, no, because never mind, remastered, because that was on last gen consoles technically. Future's confusing.
Little Nightmares 2, one of my little curios for the year, that will release on February the 11th on all platforms.
Never finished the first one. I got a little bit through. It was fun.
It was fun. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury will release on February the 12th on the Switch.
Godslayer Bowser. Still not real.
One of the last games for January I can get into right now. Strongholds Warlords, upcoming PC title. A lot of PC players have been yearning for this after the immense success of was it Bannerlord? Warband?
Yeah, I don't play many RTS games.
No, but Strongholds coming out on the 26th. The Sims 4 in the
Wait,
background.
are you sure? Stronghold Warlords?
Stronghold Warlords, yes, for the PC on January 26th.
It says March 9th on Steam.
Get cucked.
Oh, do you maybe mean the demo?
It says on let's check the official website. Let's see.
New release date and demo as of January 20th.
Oh, okay. So then that, yeah. All right, then get cucked. Sorry.
Launches on March 9th, 2021.
Something must have came up. They probably found some bugs they need to attend with. Sorry, y'all.
The reason behind this is that the game's multiplayer mode is simply not ready to be released yet. We have run into some unexpected issues with it, and while we have worked very hard to resolve these with our current deadlines, we need more time to iron them out. We want to be as transparent as possible. We did this is, and we did consider releasing it as planned, delaying multiplayer to go live in a future update. However, as we have promised multiplayer functionality, we're gonna do it.
That's good on them. That's good.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry. January 7th, 2 weeks left. Any news? Question mark. No new videos. No nothing. Is everything going accordingly to plan? Dead.
Okay.
So much ninth.
One of my most anticipated titles made by our very own Bloober team, The Medium, will release on January 28th. Can pre-order that through either Steam or Epic Games for once, not an exclusive. So there you go. If you want to play Devils and Angels, you can decide.
Yeah.
Yakuza Remastered for Xbox One and PC, January 28th. Sword of the Necromancer comes to all platforms on January 28th. I will be playing that a little bit. It looked pretty cute.
I'd like to plug a game.
Sure.
That's coming out.
Sure.
My good friend, Mudasheep, is releasing another game on Steam. This one is actually for the monies. His last one was Halfquake. It was a series of 3 mods that were made in the Half-Life 1 engine. And he released those for free. He re-updated them. They play very well. They're very fun. They're platforming mixed with some combat and some like abstract art types of themes. Very good. I streamed those a couple years back in that release. But he has been working on a little, I think it's a puzzle game. It's all hand-drawn with like what is it? Like a Coptic pen, I think. But that it would be Caddy and Batty, the Spirit Guide. And that is coming out in February. And there's a demo out you can currently try on Steam.
Well, you hear that? Get you one right now.
30 levels. There's local co-op. You can switch characters on the fly. 800 hand-drawn sprites. He makes very, very good music, so it's another thing to look forward to. And he says it's about a couple hours of gameplay. So I imagine it'll probably be like $2 to $5.
That's not bad.
No.
So I forgot this game. Sorry. Olesia, which is being published by Devolver, was set to release on 28th. I remember I saw some stuff on it. It looked pretty cute about like 3 days ago. Just some nice stuff. Nice little indies. So that's all. I will be playing the hell out of the medium. Hopefully it's good. I like Blair Witch. I like Layers of Fear. I like Layers of Fear too. As much as that might irritate some folks.
I saw a playthrough of Layers of Fear, and I think the DLC. Did not play Layers of Fear 2. I saw almost the entirety of a playthrough of the recent Blair Witch game, and I have my opinions on that. But what is it? The Medium?
The Medium, yes.
I feel like what was that? Was that the one with the mixed realities? Yes, it is.
Yep.
It's like the Silent Hill kind of
Yep.
sort of thing. I mean, I have no idea how else to describe that. I hope they realize that's what everybody's thinking.
Oh no, no, that's exactly what they were trying to go for. They literally got Akira Yamaoka from
Oh,
to compose for this game. Like they know
oh,
that they know that they're wearing all of this on their sleeve right now. Like that this is
Hmm.
what this is. You haven't delivered on Silent Hill, well, we're gonna make one. We just can't call it Silent Hill.
Yeah, still still waiting to see what Hideo Kojima does with Guillermo del Toro
Guillermo
and
del
Junji Ito.
Toro.
I will never be able to pronounce his name. I love his name, but I will never be able to pronounce it.
One of my favorite movies that that he worked on was a spiritual successor to Record, which was a Spanish version of I don't know what the American version is because I only know the
The
Spanish.
American one, no, the American one was the ripoff of Record. Record was the
Yes,
original,
yes,
actually.
yes. And in fact, I'm glad that you know that. 'Cause I was hoping you would say it. So that means you have seen it.
No, I actually haven't seen it. I saw a kill count via Dead Meat. You know Dead
Um,
Meat on YouTube?
no.
Yeah, Dead Meat does a kill count for horror movies in which he goes over how many people die in the movie. And it's kind of like a semi review for the movie as well. Um, Highly recommend that. He goes through a lot of horror movies. But yeah, I had seen him go through the original Record because I had heard Record was good, and like I offhandedly I was just like, let me just watch this because I don't watch all that many horror movies, especially nowadays. Um, and then I was like, well, let's see how the American version of Record was. Much worse,
Uh,
much worse. Go figure.
yeah. It doesn't really have the emotion of Record,
Yeah.
but I think that is such a good film for that sort of I guess you could say first person perspective on
Found
film.
footage.
Found footage, yeah, but I feel like that style of film, or at least that movie in particular, has been like the only one to my knowledge that did it right. We had um we had that one movie.
Do you mean in recent years or completely? Because I mean, Blair Witch, I haven't seen that, but I just the way people talk about it from back then, it's like they're like, oh, this is incredible for the time, and it still has great atmosphere and suspense.
Well, recently, I was gonna bring up we had Hardcore Henry, which was basically a first person shooter, but
Yeah,
a
I still
movie.
didn't see that, but I
I
heard it was
wanted
good.
to move it. Yeah, I wanted to see it, but we had that. But I haven't really seen anything basically like that in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Certainly not a horror movie either. So I'm kind of hoping that somebody can just because I like that style of film. I don't know why. It's just
Mm-hmm.
like something charming about it. Tells its own story. But yeah, Guillermo del Toro. For the longest amount of time, I thought he directed Record, but no, he did not. That that goes to some Spanish folks. I don't know what they went to work on after that. Then that's kind of the thing. Um, you want to move on to Vicarious Visions?
Oh, I'd love to.
Go ahead.
Okay, so This past week, Vicarious Visions, they did some other games that in the past that whatever. That's not the important part. Most recently, they were known for the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy, which was a complete sort of remake of the original three Crash games. And then, as of last year, they had done a, I think it was more of a remaster. I'm not sure. I didn't play it, but for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. And I heard a lot of good things that they had done really well with it. So, I mean, good for them. Uh, but they work under Activision, and they've been with Activision for a long while. So just this past week, they have been bought out and merged into Blizzard. And the way the article is phrasing it, as Blizzard had said, was they are going to be fully dedicated to Blizzard titles moving forward.
So this is oh sorry, good.
No, good.
Some releases I want people to know about before I get on with it. X-Men Legends 2, Rise of Apocalypse, one of my favorite RPGs for the original Xbox. It also moved to PC when I think Windows Live was still a thing.
Ew.
Also worked on, aside from the remasters to Tony Hawk, they worked on Tony Hawk's Underground 2, which was one of my favorite from that
Fuck
era.
yeah. I actually have that on my computer
Really?
right now. I was able to find a download for that. Though I do have something I wanted to mention later on about PS2 stuff.
This is when I wanted to bring up Destiny earlier, that Vicarious Visions had worked when Bungie was still aligned with Activision due to their contract. Vicarious Visions was working on a lot of the back end stuff for Destiny 2. This meant a lot of the content that we saw in Forsaken. Arguably one of the best expansions to date for the franchise of Destiny. They're credited with a lot of the basically the raids, the set aside expansion content that came later. Arguably the best stuff that we've gotten post content drop. And recently, sorry, I'm searching this up because I don't want to get his name wrong, but
yeah,
they memorialized somebody that had died in Vicarious Visions, Matt Helsum. That's a quest. That was a quest before Beyond Light had launched, and it honored him, where you had to go to Mars, and basically got to read some notes about him. But he had passed. He had worked in Vicarious Visions for a bit. There's now a mission in the game that memorializes him and the work that he did. The Vicarious Visions is a very important tool for both Activision and now Blizzard as a whole, because they did a lot of background stuff, and that's all they've been known for basically in the past years. Prior to them just being merged, was that they only did like background stuff. They were never in the spotlight. But
I didn't hear about them until Insane Trilogy.
Before them going into Blizzard, you never really would hear about it, hear about that outfit. But they are so important. Call of Duty, you can basically credit a lot of Vicarious Visions for just working on back end stuff, while the main teams, Infinity Ward and Treyarch, were just hammering whatever they needed to do for the main game. What I like about this merge is that they are going to be focused on games, primarily for Blizzard. So something that we now have confirmed that we knew something was going on, but we just couldn't say for sure. But something that we now can confirm is that they are in fact working on the Diablo 2 remaster. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I'm rooting for this merge. We remember when Blizzard had dropped so many people off their faculty, and
Yeah.
I that's what I'm kind of worried about. The only thing that I can credit Blizzard is that they're not EA, and that's all I can really say, because EA's track record for just obliterating an outfit, it's they're batting 1,000 for success rates. I think the only studio living from that scourge is BioWare right now, and they're on very thin ice. Um,
Yeah. We promise we won't fucking liquidate the entire studio. We promise. No, that won't happen. Studio heads leaves.
uh, Vicarious Visions, though, this is going to be a good home for them. I am rooting for them in this project, and I hope that they're also doing some back end stuff for Diablo 4, because we need to hear something about that game by the end of the year. It was supposed to release by the end of the year, so hopefully we have more news on that. But Diablo 2 is going to be a very important game to remaster. More important than Warcraft 3, which was a barn burner. Uh, Diablo 2, not only as an RPG, but just when you hear like ARPG, Diablo's a game that usually comes up, but the main game that comes up is Diablo 2, because it kind of paved the way on how other dungeon crawlers kind of do it nowadays. Uh, a lot of the systems that you saw in, for instance, Borderlands and Borderlands 2, they credit some work on Diablo 2, such as just like loot tables and how drop rates work. Um, Path of Exile was being worked on at the tail end of Diablo 2's life cycle, and when Diablo 3 had released, Path of Exile was like in its alpha. And something that GGG, the developers of Path of Exile, stated is that this game is heavily based around Diablo 2 systems. So Diablo 2 kind of grandfathered a lot of RPG and just RPG systems as we know them now. So this is going to be a very important remaster that we get.
Hmm.
Just because you can play Diablo 2 right now, but chances are you're not going to sit past it. Diablo 2 is a game that Steven and I, co-runner of Jumpers channel and just Jumpers in general, we come back to that game every now and again, just memory lane. As most of you know, Diablo 1 was the very first game that I've ever played, so I can sit through Diablo 1 and play that for hours. Diablo 2, though, in its present state, that you can't mod it like you can for Diablo 1. Diablo 2 is just always going to be in that nasty aspect ratio of it that it has.
Was it Diablo 1 or Diablo 2 that had head rock?
Had rock?
Head rock.
Head rock.
Yeah. Was that 1 or 2?
I'm not.
I'm referring to the ending, by the way.
I have no idea.
You shove the demon rock or whatever it's supposed to be, the demon gem, into your head. The protagonist does this.
This could have been 2, because at the end of Diablo Hellfire, which was the expansion to Diablo 1.
Why, you just gonna let that slide?
What?
Hellfire.
Good night, everybody.
Farewell.
I don't cut this. We don't even talk
Good.
about this.
Anyway. at the end of Hellfire.
I don't have anything to add to that. By the end of Hellfire, your characters are in limbo, and you basically find out. I don't want to spoil it because Diablo 2 is about to re-release. I don't want to spoil nothing. I'm not going to say nothing. But you can find out what happens to your character in Diablo 2. It's cool. It's dope. Continue. I'm sorry. I just wanted to bring up Diablo 2. You know how it is.
Fine.
It's whatever.
Well, continue. Sorry. I didn't even say anything previously.
No, it's okay. It's all right. It's fine.
He's so sad. Change it. Do it. Change your profile picture completely black. Put yourself in black. Do not disturb mode. Do not disturb mode. Change your Twitter header to all black, and then change your profile bio to be I don't even care.
But it is all black.
It's not.
I'm using a pumpkin as a goddamn face.
Yeah, but it's not all black. It's got a pumpkin. I'm talking just black. Just the color black. That's it.
Ooh, I almost did it, Mel. I almost did it. You almost made me pull the card, and I'm running out of uses.
Shut up. No.
I can only use it so much before people are like, well, that's... All right.
When do I get my pass?
Easy.
Sorry. Anyway, let's bring it back. I disagree wholly about the Vicarious Visions merging with Blizzard.
I was curious as to why.
Okay, so my reasoning is this little bit right here in Game Industry's article by Brendan Sinclair. Going forward, the Vicarious Visions team of about 200 people will be employees of Blizzard and, quote, fully dedicated to existing Blizzard games and initiatives, unquote. Which means the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2 studio, Vicarious Visions, will no longer be creating games as the lead developer. So essentially, they made one of the best remakes in years, like next to like Shadow of the Colossus, for example, Demon Souls. And they remastered or slightly remade the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 games. And for all that work, now they get to be support for Blizzard and only work on Blizzard products and projects. And they will never make another game again. Like, as the head.
Recreating Diablo 2?
It's different.
We're assuming they're going to also be working, and this is why I'm also heavily for it. Blizzard has a track record of just kind of letting games fall by the wayside. Heroes of the Storm is one such example. They decided to basically not do updates for the game because, well, why do that when you got Hearthstone to worry about? And you also got Overwatch, which is a cash cow. And you also have WoW, which is doing good again. So
there was that one Warcraft game too. It was like a stealth game or something.
Are you thinking of
or was that StarCraft?
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you thinking of StarCraft Ghost Ops? Because Nova Ops, because you played as I forget her name.
A woman.
Well, she's a pretty important character in the StarCraft lore, fella. I'm just trying to...
T-Londa!
Oh, God.
T-Londa! I can't wait for T-Londa to die in the player model cutscene.
For brevity's sake, most of the L jumpers that play World of Warcraft were talking about what they think the end of the expansion is going to rear into, and they were talking about how Tyrande can possibly show up in some manner at the end of the expansion because she just kind of up and left at the beginning of the expansion. No one knows what happened to her. Uh, one of the hell jumpers that asked Mala, "So what do you think?" Like he fucking knows, and he had said, "Well, I hope Talonda shows up somewhere."
T. Londa.
And I just figured, man, Talonda must be it's some urban lady that just owns like a family diner out of the way and just calls you sugar all the time. And
I hate the fact that that's exactly where my mind had went to when I thought of T. Londa. Or just Taronda in general.
Tiwanda's family diner.
For the record, I don't play WoW. I know like hardly anything about WoW. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, so my issue with Vicarious Visions moving over to Blizzard is just that they're not going to be at the helm for any more games. They'll be support, but they won't be like how they were for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and Crash Bandicoot. Like I must figure them akin to Blue Point in a way because like they've been moving from title to title. Granted, the past two ones have been PlayStation ones. I would not be surprised if PlayStation ate them up, and so Blue Point became like a PlayStation specific developer. Um, but I find that as a shame. Like I don't like Blizzard, but that's a completely different part of the story. You had mentioned it was one. They were going from one iffy company to another. And it's like, I don't deny that. I'm not saying Activision is any better than Blizzard. Um,
Uh,
I'll miss them actually at the head making games.
to play devil's advocate, they were doing basically what they're going to be doing for Blizzard to what they were doing for Activision, which was remaking past products and being support for back end games, Call of Duty. They were helping Bungie because they were ordered to. This is what you're going to be doing when Bungie was still working with Activision. Like this is what you do. You are
Yeah, but
Bungie's
the
bitch.
remakes were within the past couple of years, while all the patching and whatnot that was way back. It's like Vicarious Visions, without a doubt, gained their fame because of the Insane trilogy and the Pro Skater 1 and 2 games.
But my whole thing is that it seems like it's just going to be the same thing. I mean, you're still technically working for Activision on the back end anyway. I mean, you're just working on Blizzard games. I mean, they're still. It doesn't feel like there's going to be much change. It just seems like you're just switching off hands, and that's it. I feel like we're gonna see them make a remaster Diablo 2, for instance. We're probably going to see them take over patches and patchwork for Heroes of the Storm because there's nobody at the helm for that right now, especially
Hmm.
not with that whole faculty debacle that I don't want to get into. I feel sorry for people that are affected, but um, in my opinion, I just feel like I don't think there's going to be much change. Like, yes, these games, especially the Tony Hawk re-release, or sorry, remaster, that was an important game, and I feel like they got some goodwill, and I think that's why people are kind of rooting for him for this because we kind of need him right now for Diablo 2 because we don't trust in-house Blizzard right now for a remaster, not after Warcraft 3. So I
Yeah.
feel like this came at a good time. And if anybody is gonna do some major work, I'm fully behind Vicarious Visions. And in the back end, if
Well,
it doesn't work out, they just make a new company. They always fucking do. Lead director
well. Here's
leaves.
the thing too is with Vicarious Visions from the same article I read before. Publisher today told industry that effective today it is merging Vicarious Visions into Blizzard Entertainment.
Exactly.
So it's like they're not even Vicarious Visions though.
Exactly. That's why I said, if it don't work out, lead director
And
leaves, all
the
of a sudden
and
they're
the
a new studio.
well, the studio head is also being changed. Who is it? As part of the move, Vicarious Visions studio head Jen O'Neill has been promoted to Blizzard Executive Vice President of Development.
No,
Where she joins the company's leadership team and will
there you
report
go.
directly to the Blizzard president. Yay!
There it is.
And O'Neill is being replaced in Vicarious Visions studio head role by Simon Ebinger, who previously served as chief operating officer for the studio.
There it is.
Well, I mean, at the very least,
Moving up in the world, boys.
it's
Let's go.
somebody quote unquote in house with Vicarious Visions.
There it
Kinda-
is.
I don't know. I still just find it. Here's your reward for doing these great remakes. Now you get to be support for the Blizzard side and all their shit. Yay!
Let's see where it goes. Let's see what happens. If anything,
I don't have hope.
Well, I mean, again, devil's advocate. What's the last Blizzard game you played? Let's be real.
Oh God, Jesus Christ. It might have.
I doubt you played Overwatch.
I almost did. It actually might have been the last Blizzard game I played. May have been, like the first time I played World of Warcraft when I was probably like 8 or 9. I'm 23 now.
Well, then there it is.
And I played for like an hour.
Like I say, see what happens. Worst that can happen is that they make one of the best remaster we ever done did see in this current year. 2. Worst thing that can happen is some of these people that went in-house don't want it no more. They might get into talks with some people that are working in-house with Blizzard before the merge and just go, hey man, how about you get out of here? I got a Toyota Paseo in the parking lot.
Remember those commercials?
No.
Tell me. I don't even think is that even the same car?
I don't know. I think
I don't know why you remember that.
I get the tune. I don't think we're thinking of the same brand though, but this would be the part of the show where forgot to do this for 2 episodes in a row, but hey, we're back now. Come on. What meme you got? You got to bring back an oldie, but a goodie.
Can I has cheeseburger?
I feel like we did it.
I'm a fire in my laser. Bah. Bah.
So you took mine.
Bobby.
You took mine, and I don't understand why.
I'm okay, Dad.
That boy ain't right.
Tell you what. Oh, that's mine.
Well,
all that.
That was supposed to be mine. I'm gonna go with Bad Luck Brian. Yippers. Some of you probably don't even know what the hell Bad Luck Brian is.
No. I don't know. Is it that obscure?
I mean, it's older now. I mean,
It's older,
what's
definitely. I don't think it's that
what's
obscure.
what's funny to kids nowadays? I mean, I asked some folks like, "Hey, do you remember all your bass?" And they're like, "What?"
I mean, that's immensely old. That's like
But
early
I mean,
2000s old.
that's a rage comic culture though. That was still a thing. That was still going. That was strong. Friend posts his photo. The web does the rest. That's bad book print.
Have you heard the Veggie Tales bit in which I think it's Larry the Cucumber says to see, I remember the cucumber's name possibly, but I don't remember the goddamn tomato's name.
I like how
Or
you.
was
I
Larry
like how
the
you
or was Larry
know.
the tomato? I watched Veggie Tales. It was Christian. I don't know why I watched it back then, but
Was it
because my parents weren't religious. It was.
Bob the tomato, Larry the cucumber,
Yeah. Okay.
Archibald
Yeah.
asparagus,
Well, that doesn't matter.
Laura
Larry
carrot,
told. Okay.
Madame blueberry?
Larry had told Bob that in the future, jokes will be randomly generated. And my God, if it isn't true, just scroll on Twitter for 5 minutes and you'll see all that randomly generated content.
Pa grape,
That feel
petunia
when
rhubarb,
that feel when a cucumber predicted memes.
grandma gourd,
Seen that Bernie sitting around?
ma grape,
That's pretty funny.
Art Bugatti,
Are you okay?
Bruce onion, cauliflower. That's clever. Fuck you. That's clever. You have to give that one its due, Mel.
We can both play this game.
No, I'm telling you, cauliflower. That's a good one.
I'm not denying it. I'm not denying
We'll
it.
give it its due. What do you want?
It's pretty all right.
Oh, it's all right. This guy says. Ah.
Zach and Wheezy,
What's that from?
Cassie, Quetzal,
What's Zack and Weasel from?
Max,
Dragon Tales.
Dragon Tales. He got it.
Wow.
He got it. He did it.
Did
I didn't even
Dragon
have to finish
Tales
all the characters?
scare you as a youngin?
No. Did it scare you?
No, but that claymation. I forget what show that was, but it was like a claymation-esque show that kind of got to me a little bit.
Zaboomafoo.
Could have been.
It was probably Zaboomafoo. It had a segment in which it was claymated. Because the rest of the show was.
Oh no. It was. Oh no, it could have been a movie. The whole ending to the show was like the dinosaurs are all gonna get wiped out, and it was like a really sad.
No. Oh no, that wasn't claymation. That was puppets.
Really?
Yeah. No. They fucked up. The dinosaurs fucked up in their society. And they caused a ice age at the local factory, and it ended on everybody dying.
What was it?
That's how the dinosaurs died.
What was
climate change. I think it was literally just called like the dinosaurs.
Really? Mallow.
Yeah, dinosaurs.
Ferociously types on the keys.
1991 was the first episode.
It wasn't really the show's style, even though you could say that it looked kind of awkward for the time. I think if you would show that to a kid nowadays, they'd be like, "Holy hell, what is that?" But
well, I mean, because how many shows do puppet animation? Like
Well, for that
one,
time,
maybe one.
for that time,
For that time, plenty.
plenty.
Now, one, probably. It's all like a flash animation now.
It was just the storytelling. Like
Yeah,
that
flash animation actually.
that was that's what basically got to me. I was like, God damn, that's
Hmm.
and as a
Watch.
youngin, you know, I didn't understand that subject matter. I'm just like, dude, why is this happening to him? That's not good. That's not cool.
See, I never watched that when I was a kid. Though I think the baby had a pink dinosaur. Yep, yeah, pink dinosaur toy, and you could buy that toy because my sister owned that toy, and I need to quote this. I apologize, but we had called it when we were younger. We called it the retarded dinosaur because it had a little squeezy like uh air voice thing inside of it. So you would squeeze the dinosaur as hard as you could. It would like seem like it's inhaling like and then you would let go and as it expands back out, it goes and it was amazing. Great toy.
Uh,
I never watched it though. I never watched the show. So it was weird like later on seeing that toy that the baby was holding. I was like, "Oh, that's where that comes from? That's okay."
you ever been afraid of like just those style of like toys? Just like dolls in general, I guess. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My grandmother would send my sister when we were younger. She would send her all these like extravagant dolls that were about like they're about like up to like as of right now they're about up to like your calf or so, maybe like the very bottom of your knee. They're very immaculate and very nice, and they costed a lot of money, I'm sure. But my sister would essentially she would be forced to kind of display them. uh Granted, our grandparents that had sent them, they lived down in Florida, and we lived up in Pennsylvania before we moved down to Florida for a year or two. Um, but there was this one in specific I remember. It was this very like milk toast skinned, blonde curly haired girl in like a white type of wedding looking dress, I believe. And she kind of had these sort of like buck teeth. Like she almost looked kind of like a baby doll in a sense.
Hmm.
But the fucking eyes, I swear, so many times when I was younger in the night, because me and my sister had bunk beds when we were growing up, before we finally separated to different rooms.
Oh,
Um,
sad too.
it was a wooden bunk bed, so
Oh, of
very, very
course.
safe. Exactly. Um, but I swear, I slept on the bottom bunk, she slept on the top, and I swear, that fucking doll, that one in specific, that's the only one I remember, would fucking turn its head, and like the eyes would look around. It currently sitting in my mother's attic. My sister wanted nothing to do with those. She hated them.
That's
She hated Chucky. The reason was because of those fucking dolls.
that's crazy that you said that. So I was gonna bring this up. My dad had dated uh his ex for like some years, and she always had a Chucky doll. Like Chucky was so huge when it had like came out, and she just
Mm-hmm.
had like an actual replica of Chucky, and it would just like
Yeah.
sit in awkward places. Like she didn't do this to be like uh
Facetious.
troll. Well, no, not she wasn't trying to troll anybody or just do the odd joke, but she would like just put it down somewhere just to kind of display it. And I
Mm.
remember when I had watched the movie, and that was like the first time, and I would walk out and like the Chucky is just there, and I'm like, oh fuck me, I'm just it. All right, I die, I guess, I suppose. Or I would play like my games. I would walk out to the living room, and there's Chucky just on full display, and I'm like, okay, well, are we not going to address this, or what's what's going on here? It's like, um,
when did you watch the movie? About what age?
uh, man, it all blends together now, don't it? I had watched
Just
Seed of Chucky when I was like, say that could have been like 05, 04.
okay.
I remember it was basically around the time when it had came out. Uh, and I thought Seed of Chucky was more like comedic, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't really find anything too scary about it.
See,
Could
I've watched the original Chucky, and I've seen the second one. Other than that, I had a couple of years ago, I had watched Dead Meat. Yeah, there's Dead Meat again. Go through all of the Chucky movies, and man, like the most recent one, I thought was pretty neat because they had the original actor
Cult of
for
Chucky,
the
yeah?
kid. Yeah, they had him reprise his role as the kid, but as an adult, obviously.
Yeah.
um, I thought that was neat, but like the movie before that one, it got really fucking goofy.
Okay, that's a good topic. I found uh I found Saw to be like a really good film. And I love Saw, like the original Saw. And I remember my dad and I went to go see like the original one when it had released, and we were just like blown
Mm.
away. It's like, damn, that movie was killer, literally. Uh,
Uh-huh.
but
Uh-huh.
it Saw, what is the most recent Saw? Uh,
The remake kind of one. The reboot of Saw,
Jigsaw.
but yeah, in which have you seen that one?
That's the one I was gonna bring up.
Okay.
Jigsaw was one of the worst films I had ever seen in my life.
Really?
I had never seen a a reboot of a franchise that I loved get so fucking downplayed to shit. It got so fucking goofy, and it was just like so many horror tropes that just didn't make any fucking sense. I just hated it.
What I thought was neat about it, spoilers for kind of the end of the movie, is that well, Jigsaw is already dead. I'm pretty sure, and
That
so it's
that
like
was the case, yeah.
yeah, it's a soft reboot sort of. It's not like a hard reboot, like it's the entire story all over again, uh, in a different way. It's literally like a continuation, but just it's a copycat killer almost. I thought that was kind of neat. I never saw the movie myself. I had heard it was bad. I like that fact that it's not a reboot,
I'm gonna
but it
just
kind
go
of
over
is.
it very quickly. Jigsaw, original Jigsaw, he's still alive,
Yes.
and the whole apex of the film is that they left it open so that any fucking buddy could have been Jigsaw, um, which in turn would make it so that they could release another film, which
Yep.
apparently we're gonna get because Spiral is about to come out. Uh, Apparently, we're rooting for this one because it has the Samuel L. Jackson. It also
First
has
I've heard about it.
the Chris Rock comedian actor Chris Rock. So
Mm.
you know where that's gonna go. Uh,
What the hell's going on?
So
I love Chris Rock, but
oh yeah, Chris Rock's great.
no horror movie. No,
No horror movie, serious role, Chris Rock. But I have to give him his credit, or at least give him his fair shake at it, because Robin Williams also played a very serious role. And I was like, that really shook me a little bit because I'm like, that's prior to when he died, rest him now. But he had
Jumanji.
He had played. It was a really cool like idea where you were like a detective, and you were looking at the life of somebody that had passed, basically before they died, and you can find out how it actually happened. And I thought that premise of film was like really neat. I forget what the name of it is now. Like I want to say it can't be Observer, because Observer's a game that kind of followed that premise.
Ghost Detective.
It had to be fairly recent. Like it doesn't matter really, but it was a good film, and that just kind of, I was like, damn, that's Robin Williams in like a very serious sort of role. It's like it's not what you would think.
Oh no, sorry. He was the star of Murdered, Sole Suspect. Played that game for 90 minutes. Not a great game.
I have a soft spot for it.
Last played 2016. Woof.
Did you so wait a minute, hold on, back that up, back it up.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on if I'm gonna be too lazy or not to put like a rewind sound effector. I wanted to talk about some horror stuff. Why not?
Oh boy.
You ever saw Mirrors?
No.
You didn't see Mirrors with the Kiefer Sutherland? Here we
Are
go.
you seriously gonna ask me that when I've said in the past I have not watched a lot of movies? You're lucky I knew what the fuck Record was. That's the one that you get. The most recent movie I've seen was Soul. I watched Soul this past week. That was good.
Oh, it's good that you at least when you got the time to do it. Why not? Soul was.
Are you fucking patronizing me?
No, of course not. No, I mean I mean that legitimately.
It's good that you watch movies.
No, fuck it.
Watching movies is good.
Hush,
Nala.
Hush. I don't watch film at all. Like on the off chance that I do, I try to at least watch something that's relatively within my play space, which is typically horror. But I heard a lot of good things about Soul. Then I was just saying, if you're gonna watch a movie, now would be a good time to do it, given how movies are releasing, and the fact that you can just watch everything from the comforts of home. It's kind of.
It got a lot of streams.
Yeah.
A lot.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the way of the world now. Just
I wish I could remember which number it was in. I don't remember if it was in the millions or if I was extremely surprised and it was actually in the billions.
It does probably never happen to you, but you're in a big city like Vegas and you're just trying to mind your own goddamn business. I remember I had went to the store. This wasn't too long ago. This was pre-COVID, like before it actually escalated. I remember I went to the store, got out of the car. I went to like Smith's, which is maybe you guys have one out there. It's a Nevada grocery store we have out here. But I had got out of the car and I saw this guy, and and that's the mistake right there is that you never don't look around because that entices
Oh,
somebody
sorry. I
to.
thought you were gonna say get out of the car. Never get out of the car.
Oh no no no! You don't
Why
look
don't you
around.
ever get in the car? Why don't
I
you ever leave? Don't go outside.
I looked in this guy's general direction because like I saw that his trunk was open. I was like, oh, that's peculiar. He didn't have like a card or anything. It was just open trunk, and he was like, "Hey, big man." And I made the unfortunate mistake of looking over to him, and I kind of just nodded my head. Social cues are a hell of a thing. I'm like, yep, because I was gonna just walk into the store and be on my way, but then he was like, "Hey man, you want to see any movies?" And I I stopped. I don't know why I did this, but I had stopped and I looked at the guy, and he was holding up one of those old like protective CD.
I thought you were about to say he was holding up the movie Up.
No, no, but he was holding up one of those like old protective like CD things that you would use to kind of just carry multiple CDs or whatever, like the CD
Yeah,
booklets.
yeah, yeah.
But he was holding these CDs, and I could see clearly that they were like burnt discs. Uh, so like he had I already knew what the jig was. He had recorded the movie or whatever and just copied it. You ever seen like one of those like style movies where somebody just had their phone or some sort of device held up at the screen and
Oh,
they try to get one on you?
no. Well, no, not get one on me because I don't buy random uh DVDs from strangers. I've seen I've seen it before. I've seen somebody record in a movie theater like when a movie was released and they just put it up on YouTube
Yep.
and like YouTube didn't immediately flag it down. So it's like, okay, cool.
Yep.
Can watch this shitty rendition of the movie.
But I'm just like, okay, so dog, let's get this straight. You're in a parking lot. You have you're selling these random CDs. Could be anything for all I know. There's literally a red box like right in front of the store. I'm looking at a family that's like in front of the red box as you're trying to sell me these CDs. It's like, bro, what are you like? What are you trying to do here? Like, what are we doing
Yeah,
here?
but you gotta return those.
I'm like, dog, this
You
is
can buy these for cheap.
this is 2020. Like, you're sitting there trying to sell bootleg movies out of your trunk, dude. It's like, what's going on?
I don't know what's going on with you. I need to make some money. Come on, why don't you buy a couple DVDs or two? Buy 5, get half off of one.
uh, to reel this back, though, I wanted to talk about mirrors and just well, in general, just like those random phobias. Because I was watching it's that hypocritical thing on YouTube when somebody just shows up on your feed and you're like, I wonder what that's doing there. But you click on it out of
Yeah.
curiosity and whatever. But I was watching
Oh,
this.
as an aside, I watched I forget who it was that you recommended me. The guy who goes after pedophiles though.
Mama Mex. Shoutouts, by the way.
Yeah, I watched the one you had linked to me. That was it was interesting.
That was definitely an interesting one, and I think it's
Yeah.
good that he was able to re-upload that because YouTube had for the obvious that took it down because
Yeah.
he was sharing names, but at the same time, I mean, come on,
Pedophiles.
come on. But
And then aside from that, with Soul, it was sorry, with Soul, I had said something about billion. I thought billion was how many times it was streamed. Soul racked up 1.669 nice billion minutes of viewing, which actually beat out The Office at 1.435 billion minutes.
that's so wild. That's
That's really fucking impressive for The Office. Anyway, so mirrors.
well,
What's this article?
I how was Soul though before? before anything because I heard a lot of good things.
Sorry.
How was Soul when you had watched it?
It was good. Somebody had mentioned there was a nice difference between like the Pixar feeling sections of the movie, in which it was, the guy's soul.
Yeah.
Because like when I first saw the trailer, I thought it was just going to be like the more realistic sort of movie, and I was like, oh shit, nice, Pixar's doing, that. And then it went into, hey, what's going on? Where am I? It's like, oh, we can't be serious for like 5 minutes. Um, but like the cinematography for both sections were like perfect. Like the soul bits in like the afterlife, going into the great beyond, uh, were very Pixar like, as they usually are with their other movies, and then the like real to life types of segments were more like traditionally how you would kind of record a street view, I suppose, in like a normal film.
Huh.
So I mean, I like that. There was a couple plot holes with it that was kind of dumb, but I looked past that for the most part. And I think the movie covers some fairly serious topics. Uh,
Well, death, right?
about like, yeah, death and life. But no, I'd say definitely worth a watch. It was I think an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah,
But yeah, pretty dang good.
my dad was telling
I
me
also watched
about it. Oh, yeah.
yeah. I also watched their short that people have been talking about, Burrowed. And that was very cute. It's like 2-3 minutes long.
Hmm.
It's about a bunny trying to dig a hole and build a home, but he keeps getting encroached on by other creatures that are digging through the earth and are like, hey, look at my plans, and it's like immaculate. That's the word for the day. And and they're like, hey, let's see your plans. And the bunny's like, nah, I'm gonna just dig farther down. So the bunny keeps trying to dig his home, but it's like he keeps running into people. There's no dialogue throughout the entire thing as well.
Oh, okay.
So
They
that's what
just
made
had
it
to,
cute
to
as well.
pick it up and
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah.
follow along.
Soul and Burrowed was good.
Oh, okay, but back to mirrors though. I was mentioning this apocryphal thing where somebody shows up on your feed on YouTube and you just click it out of curiosity. And I'd
Mm-hmm.
stumbled on to I guess the trend is just called phobia. Phobia images with like unnerving music to accompany.
Okay.
But I I know why this showed up on my feed, but there's this artist that I follow, yada yada yada. He was talking about how phobias elicit certain reactions and emotions for basically art, and how that could translate into basically videos as well. But I had clicked on one of these, like autophobia, which are liminal spaces. I guess the point is that it's just an awkward place. It's not lively at all. The place just looks so like out of whack. Just like a simple image of a living room, but nobody's in it.
Okay.
Barely any light. You can make out what the room is supposed to be, a living room, but there's just nothing going on, and it's like weird. Scopeophobia, which is I think it's a phobia of like I without even trying to look it up, I think it's like you feel like you're being watched. Basically, it's like your
Okay.
scope.
Sure.
Uh, but there are these, and it got me thinking. I'm like, man, how many of these are there? There's just like weird, uh, weird phobias that you don't really think about, but you know somebody does. And remember how I said like one of my something I'm unreasonably afraid of, but I guess it's fair. Uh, I fear the deep, not exactly water or the ocean, but just what lies therein.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's thalassophobia. I don't think I have it to such a deafening degree where it's like, oh fuck that. Like I thought my dad always wanted to go like scuba diving. He loves the ocean, sharks, the whole thing. He was like, oh, we should go scuba diving. We're not gonna do that as desert dwellers, mind you, but that's something he wanted to do. And I'm just like, oh yeah, that'd be cool. Find like a sunken ship or something. That'd be cool. But
Yeah.
thalassophobia is basically you fear what's in there, just like full stop. Like you don't like what's could be lurking in there. If it's a ship, you're like, oh, how the fuck did it get there? Who is in there? If it's sunk, there has to be somebody in there. Um, but I just wanted to share some of these phobias. The mirrors
Okay.
thing was basically you fear, well, mirrors. Like you fear being stared at, which could be a part of scopophobia in a way, but you fear that your image is doing something that just doesn't seem right. It's just like not even crossing the uncanny valley with you. It's just like it's weird. Like my reflection's doing
Yeah.
something I'm not doing. I don't like that shit. I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah. And I hope you know that real facts that it's actually just another model of you on the other side of the mirror.
Poorly rendered.
No, no, it's a copy of your player model on the other side of the mirror.
Damn it. Why not just let me do the joke and then I would have been happy?
No, my joke.
Auto metanophobia, which is a fear of autonomous people. People actually have this to an alarming degree. Like that's why Five Nights at Freddy's is like famous for basically that.
I I just want you to know
Hmm.
I feel fantastic.
Now that is a video. That is a video. I think that's like
It's old. If you don't know what we're talking about, look up "I Feel Fantastic" on YouTube.
that's I think that shows up in like everybody's like top 10 like scariest videos. Like,
Yeah.
but it, that's a pretty scary one. Just like animatronics, but I don't remember the last time I really saw an animatronic. Like obviously Chuck E. Cheese, but I never thought they were like too like scary. But then, uh, I Feel Fantastic came out, and that was just like bizarre, like
My
that.
Christ, that was 11 years ago.
Yeah, so fucking bizarre. Because you're just wondering why does this video exist? First of all, you're wondering what was the point uh, of the animatronic.
The creator wanted to let everybody know that she feels fantastic.
Oh, I'm sure.
Hey, 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 hey. Never liked that. I will like that. Classic. Classic 11 years ago. Fuck, I'm old.
What was that series that was
what
really scary? Like it was a series though. It was
Oh
kind of
yeah,
like
that one.
puppeteering in a way. Uh, that one actually
The
could have
person
been
was like
claymation. I
the
don't know.
person was in the forest sometimes. They had like a mask on that was like a doll face.
Oh no 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 no. This so you had like
Oh, I'm thinking
it was
something
kind
else
of
then.
like a learning show in a way. There was some like bird fella that was one of the main characters. Uh, mm,
It's too vague.
Man, the problem
Any
is I remember that I
It
had
was a children's show?
yes, but it was like a horror thing though. It was like it was meant to be a children's show, but it's like it was supposed to be scary at the same time. And I wish I knew what the name was. And I know that I have subbed to this channel.
Oh wait, um, it wasn't claymation, was it?
That's the problem. Like I think it is.
If it was claymation, then that would be maybe part of was it Mark Twain's whatever.
Oh no. Okay, no.
He
Now
had like a pilot episode.
now we're so far off the mark. But that is also a
Okay,
good
okay.
one. That is also a good one though. But
Yes.
I will find that out. I will leave a
Perfect.
note for this. We will solve this by next week's episode. There's gonna be an answer
You
for
don't
this one.
you don't have any other details?
It's such an old like thing, and I remember I watched the entire thing,
Well,
but I
how
don't.
old is it? Do you think?
Mm, could
Was
have
it like a
been
parody?
around. No, it wasn't parodying any. This was like its own original work. It was just the whole premise was that it was supposed to be a children's show, but in the if you were really looking into it, there were some like scary details, and then like by the end of the series, like the whole jig was up. The like all the spooky shit that was happening, just like offhandedly, it was just happening constantly. Not even just like in the background anymore. It was just fucking with the characters.
Is this a fucking creepy pasta?
No,
It sounds like it.
no, 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 no,
Sounds
no,
like
no.
Captain's Cove or whatever.
Captain's Cove. He doesn't even know. Um, man, it,
Well,
I
we'll have to reconvene on this then next week.
it's gonna kill me because like this was like a really good. Like if you liked Marble Hornets, and these two are very
Mm.
separate things, but if you liked Marble Hornets, you would have liked this series.
Mm.
Uh, anyway, to get back to phobias, I was gonna read off like a couple. Uh, oh, by the way, though, I watched the creepiest scene from any kids movies on stream, and I remember I did so at like one of the worst times because there was like a raid going on and people were coming through stream. They were like, "What the hell are we watching here?" But I wanted to show like how this was okay for the time for being at like a kids movie. Like this was back in the day when things like also it was like in the 1980s and it was just Mark Twain in general. But
Yeah.
yeah, it shows like Invader Zim, which was going some places, some weird places
I
with
mean, it had
humor.
its moments, but
Billy and Mandy also
I
had,
was never really scared.
well, no, not to be scared, but just that that was allowed in the capacity that it was. Like you couldn't get away with that today, I don't think.
Hmm.
Billy and Mandy had its moments. Courage the Cowardly Dog also had its moments where it was just like, holy shit.
And I don't know. You'd be surprised what you could get away with for kids' cartoons nowadays. I was just made aware in a completely fucking random article that I would definitely never be able to find again. I think it might be a French cartoon. But the character is a man, and this is a kid show, by the way. Character is a man, and he solves problems using, and I need you to stay with me with this because this is actually a real thing I had seen,
I found
and
out the
parents were
name,
up
by
in
the way,
arms
but
about this.
I'm here with you. I'm here with you.
Um, and the man solves problems and goes through day-to-day life with his extremely long bendy penis.
Huh?
Yes,
And this is real?
this is real. This is real. And parents are rightfully up in arms about it. It was supposed to teach something about like body diversity, which like okay, but yeah, there's one part in like the little clip I had seen in which the dude is like trying to do something and he almost gets his tip sheared off.
This isn't like a Netflix thing, is it? Because I think Netflix
No,
is having.
no, no.
Huh.
This is some foreign cartoon.
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't fly.
Yeah, not in America. I said I thought it was like French. I don't think
Right,
it is,
right.
but it definitely foreign.
Definitely foreign.
Well, I don't. I just don't. I It might have been French, or it might have just been something foreign in general. It wasn't in English.
Foreign. Fuck us.
French fucks.
French are friends, not food, by the way. Don't hug me, I'm scared is the name of the series, by the way.
You know, I was gonna say that, but I was like, no, no, that's not what he. That's not what he means.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant, buddy boy. Watch
I
that,
should have
by
said
the
that.
way, dear viewer. Uh, the series is long ended now. Um,
It's a ride.
oh yeah. In fact, I might actually binge that. So take a trip down memory lanes. The videos are not terribly long. I think average is like
10, 12 minutes.
yeah,
They're very well done.
yeah. It might look silly, but stick with it. Very nice.
Just don't say anything more.
Yeah. And
Hey, real quick before you go back into phobias, did you see Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark,
oh
the
yeah,
movie?
of course.
How about that? Because I looked up which video you meant in regards to creepiest scene in kids' movies. Um, and I scrolled down a little bit, and I was met with the pale lady scene, and then just her fucking face.
Hmm.
And I'm not gonna lie, that was one of, if not the scariest part of the movie for me.
Really?
Yeah, she's fucking creepy. It's this for the people that don't know, it's this woman that chases a kid down a very dark, because in red, because red means scary, hall, and like the bottom of a mental hospital or just hospital in general. Um but it's this woman who, it's like a bloated corpse of a lady. She's extremely pale, black hair. She walks very slowly. She has this smile about her. Uh Dark, vacant black eyes. And she just fucking like eats the goddamn kid.
Christ. Yeah, that's it's to be fair though. It's supposed to be like a children's horror, right? It's like it's meant to be.
I mean, the original bit, sure, from the book.
The book was good.
Book was good. There was this
Try that shit, R.L. Stein. Fucker.
there was this children's book. It was something along the lines of like scary stories to tell in the dark. But it was like stories in pitch black, whatever, dark room. Um, and I remember one of them scared me for so long. It's actually sitting upstairs. I could go grab it right now. I know exactly where it is. Um, but it's like I read it out of a fascination, and also like it creeped me the hell out, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. Um, One of the stories was with this girl, and she grew up wearing this ribbon, and so her neighbor was like, "Hey, what's up with that ribbon?" She's like, "Oh, I can't tell you. Maybe I'll tell you when we're older." And so they keep going. Years keep skipping. It's like, "Hey, how about telling me about that ribbon?" It's like, "Yeah, later when we're older." And then they eventually get married. She's like, "No, not yet. I'll tell you when we're older." And then she's on her deathbed, and she's like, "Hey, you can go ahead. I want you to untie the ribbon around my neck." And her husband unties the ribbon, and her head falls off. Ah! 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 Ah!
Do 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 do.
There were some other spooky stories in that, but they weren't as good. There was one
Do
with like a kid's trying
do
to walk home
do
and
do.
get directions or something, and
Yay! That was sorry. That was
um, but he keeps running into these guys who have like really big teeth and like mouths, and the last guy he has really, really, really big long teeth, and the kid runs away. That's another one I remembered. There were a couple like silly ones as well,
Seems like it. Seems.
but that was good. It was a good book. It was a good book. Very very thin, tiny book, but art was fucking on point. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Anyway, phobias.
Oh shit, we're doing this? Holy shit.
You had more?
Okay. All right. Hold on. Yes. Oh, this is going to be exciting. I will read you some phobias. You tell me if this would at least unnerve you or it doesn't. I will try to explain what the phobia is. Also, I don't expect you to really, because some of these are like, what the hell does that mean? Megalophobia.
Megalomania. Fear of sands. Next.
You're supposed to tell me if you are unnerved by it, not just some random.
Oh, terrified every time I hear it.
Uh,
What is it?
Megalophobia is fear of large creatures and objects.
Uh, no, I'm not scared of whales. I'm not scared of elephants.
No, you don't get it.
I don't get
Large,
it.
large creatures beyond your mortal comprehension. The old gods.
Sans Undertale is all I'm getting. And again, I typed in Megalovania. God damn it.
Well, rip this bit.
A boat, big boat, big chasm, big horse heads,
Big Milkies. Shout outs to Resident Evil.
big tree, big cave. No,
No?
no.
Alright. You haven't seen the big Sharky. And the big Sharky is,
Megalodon,
yeah, but bigger
Yeah.
than that.
bigger than a megalodon.
Big Sharky is what I'm calling that scientifically from now on.
Oh, okay.
Bigger than a megalodon. Big Sharky.
Megalodon's pretty big. We'll just type in big sharky. Yep, those are some sharkies.
Are they big?
Eh. All right. And there is Tommy Wiseau next to a shark. Okay.
All
Moving
right.
on. Next phobia.
Okay. Submechanophobia. Fear of the submerged. Things
Just
that,
anything in water.
yes. But the idea is like, oh shit. Yeah, you know, you see some murky swamp water and you're like, oh, there's a piranha or something in this shit, ain't there?
Yeah. If I can't see the bottom. Yeah. I do get a little spook by that.
Yeah, fair. Next is autophobia. Autophobia is the fear of being like alone, lonely. You could also say monophobia.
No.
Autophobia.
That's my life. Alone.
Autophobia is more akin to not just one's personal, being to just be like, oh, I'm more chill, more of a solo dolo type of dude, but more like you walk into a big city like New York or LA and you're just like, oh, I'm here now, great, and then there's just nobody, like nothing. There's no cars, all the busy street life that was there is just gone inexplicably. Just something like
No.
that. Like you go into like a small town. Even this happens a lot. But you go into a small town, like it seems bustling at some point during the day, but you happen to come in at the time where there's just like nothing happening. Nothing.
No.
Well, this is a fear that some people have, so you be respectful. God damn it.
Like, I'm answering honestly. Okay, fine. Fucking pussies. Goddamn pussies. Next question, bitch. What's the next phobia I can make fun of?
Nyctophobia. A lot of people make fun of them.
Fear of people named Nick.
Fear of the dark.
Fear of the Knicks.
No.
I have a fear of those Knicks. And if somebody brings up, hey, how about those Knicks? I don't know. Weather's okay. How about those stocks? GameStop stock increased. That's kind of fucked. That was a thing that happened. Look into that. Yeah, I mean, everybody kind of has a fear of the dark. To some extent.
But, I mean, people get made fun of, though. You look like a bitch-made person if you're afraid of the dark.
I think because it's so common.
Yeah. You ever had a nightlight?
I own a nightlight. I keep it in my bathroom. So that way when I wander out of my room into the kitchen, into the small hallway that connects to my back door, I then can see where to piss.
That's it.
Also, I was recommended by Peeve to to have one.
Oh no, you
because
absolutely should.
It'll keep the ghosts out of the house.
Well, not that, but it is definitely a good idea to have some nightlights installed around the house.
Yeah,
it's good for your eyes too. People really don't understand that. Like having a bright light just cut on after you just woke up, and your eyes are just not adjusting to that shit yet, and then all of a sudden it's just like super bright, and you're like, whoa, that's not good.
Oh no, I get it. Like I keep most of my windows kind of covered by curtains. So I had woke up. I was up for a little while. And then I went to the bathroom and I went to open the curtains to look outside, and just my eyes fucking stung. This has never happened before, but my eyes fucking stung. I had to close that shit immediately. I was like,
yeah.
That actually hurts.
Especially on like a bright or just like an overcast day where it's the clouds are just open just enough.
I should say too that there was snow all over the ground.
Oh yeah,
that's what. No, but I've been considering getting a nightlight for my kitchen.
Oh, you absolutely should.
Just because it's weird not having like any kind of light in my kitchen at all. I don't know. Not that it necessarily needs it, because my kitchen connects right off of my room. Like I'm sitting here at my computer, and the door to the kitchen is to my left. Like my room is right next to the kitchen.
Yeah.
In that regard, like you have to walk through the kitchen to get to my room.
If not invest in a nightlight, invest in some smart lights. This is kind of cool. Controlling, like I have a few installed in the kitchen. I have a couple of night lights that lead from my room to my bathroom outside, and then in the kitchen I just have my smart lights that I can control from my phone.
Yeah,
and that's kind of fun to fuck around with somebody that's in the kitchen for a bit.
So you walk out into the kitchen, middle of the night, or you walk down the hall or whatever. It's like, I need to see. I left my phone on the table in my room, and it's a little dark. Okay, let me activate the smart light. Good thing I installed those, though. You can activate it without your phone. Okay. Smart light on!
So Alexa
and then
control.
You wake up everybody.
You don't have to go through that through that length. I mean, it's also.
I'd scream her name, but I'm afraid she would hear.
Oh no!
Somewhere from somewhere, even though my tablet's off.
I actually had to look.
My phone would hear for whatever reason.
I forgot. Like I actually had to look behind me just then, because I have a little Echo Dot
Yeah.
on the thing, and I remember somebody had triggered it when we were playing Phasmophobia, and I
That's right.
and I when from the time that zombies had triggered his during that clip from now, like I've always like checked behind me just to make sure that it didn't somehow randomly trigger. But
I don't trust those. I don't trust
oh, I
those.
don't either, and we just have them because get with the times. But it's like once I move out, I'm not
Why, you're not taking your girl with you?
in another life maybe.
Yeah, you got. That's what your body pillows are for. Anyway, so what's the next phobia?
Spelunkophobia.
Yes. You don't even need to finish that one. Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I seen like short, like 6 minute video or so of this guy narrating his journey through this, like, what some people are calling like, oh, a hell's tunnel or something like that. And it was just chasm after chasm of just these tiny crawl spaces that you would go in between. It was these two people. And it's like they got to a point, these explorers, in which they couldn't go any further, but then they were able to find even more ways to go further. And then they reached this point in which it was like you were climbing on the sides of walls, and it was like an impressively deep drop. No, cave systems are fucking terrifying. Fuck that.
The fact that
That's partially influenced by what's the movie? You know the one.
the one where
Is it called? Is it The Ascension?
then I might be thinking of something else. I thought you were.
It's the movie. It's the movie in which these girls go
Yeah, then
spelunkying.
spelunkying. Let's go. All right.
Never played.
Um, I thought you were talking about the one where the guy gets trapped in the between basically two plates, I guess you could say, and he couldn't get out, and he was just trapped there. Like the whole
Oh, and he had to like cut his leg off.
basically.
No, not that one.
Based on a real film, that one, or based on a real film.
Yep.
Christ.
Based on the incredible true story.
I'm gonna gloss over this one.
The Descent.
The Descent.
That's not the Ascension. Other way. Yeah, the Ascent.
I'm gonna gloss over this one because you either have it or you don't. Claustrophobia.
Yeah,
Fear of tight spaces.
I can. Actually, no. Yeah, I'd say I do. It depends on the situation though. Like with spelunkying, yes.
It definitely depends on the area. Like if it's just dark and damp, I'm like, oh, why the fuck am I even here? But if it's like a crawl space, I'm just meant to be there for a bit, then it's whatever. It is what it is. It is what you make it. Hilophobia.
Please don't tell me.
What do you think it is?
Is fear of hills?
Fear of forests.
Oh. No.
No, really.
No.
A random pathway in the forest.
I mean, it depends on what kind of forest we're talking about, I guess. But generally, no, I'm not scared of forests.
There was this like really interesting Reddit story, and it like progged a bunch of basically news articles about, oh, there are some random stairs in the forest, man. Why are they there? What the hell are they
Hmm.
there for? And uh, the tale was basically told by a park ranger, in which he basically says, yeah, so I've been a ranger for like X amount of months now, and they've been telling me not to go up these stairs. I could really lose my job for even talking about it, but there are some stairs out here. You're not meant to go up them. I don't know what happens. I'm not even going to go there, but there are some people that have had some experiences with them apparently. And that might unnerve some folks, like just random ass stairs for no reason out in the forest, out in the woods. Uh,
Uh, I will tell you one forest that does scare me. I believe it is Aokigahara, the suicide forest
suicide
in
forest,
Japan.
yeah.
Yeah, that's just because like that's some bad juju. It's got some bad karma there.
Yeah.
And what was the fucking name of the game? You played it as well. Tunnels, tunnel.
I don't know the original name of it. I know what you're thinking of. It was the one you played on,
Inunaki Tunnel.
yeah, Inanaki Tunnel.
Yeah, that game. Oh my god. What a good fucking game. If you go right.
Okay, I was gonna say, I'm like, hold on there, Slick. Hold on there.
If you go right.
Calm down there, buddy boy.
I paused. I fucking paused. Because I thought I was done for. I fucking paused. Oh man.
Okay, we'll do a few more. Acrophobia.
What is that?
It's a classic one. Basically, your fear of heights.
Oh. Yeah. I don't even do well on ladders.
I feel that now. Apirophobia. The fear of infinity. Something that could just go on forever. A winding road. No idea where it leads.
Um
Looking up from Google Street View and seeing your complex, and it's just winding forever. Everything looks samey.
uh
Death. And it's twine burrowing into you.
it would depend, I guess, on the scenario. Like for infinity, ocean,
Yeah.
space.
Yeah. Go.
Maybe not a fear of, but it's unsettling.
Yeah.
It's like the
Hardly.
deepest part of the ocean, the deepest part of space.
Hardly know what's out there in the ocean. Couldn't even tell you what the hell goes out there in space. So unexplored. Dendrophobia. Fear of trees.
No. If I don't have a fear of forests, then I'm not going to have a fear of trees.
Not even when things can lurk inside of trees.
No. I haven't seen too many hollowed out trees in my life.
Not even hollowed out, but Vietnam vets would come back and they would just have, an immense fear of stuff like that, and people started looking into it, and I was like, man, yeah, because a lot of ambush points would happen from sniper nests that were in trees, and you wouldn't even tell that they were up there. It was just crazy time.
Here's the thing. I may have played Shell Shock NAM 67 for the Xbox. That doesn't mean I have PTSD.
Oh no, of course not. It's a wild one. This next one that's coming up. Phobia. Some people here in Vegas actually suffer from this. Uh, it's the it's the fear of being in and or around like tall buildings or tall structures.
No. It's a building. It's impressive that it was built. I'm not scared of it.
They the fear basically comes from at any point something could happen to the structure. It's like, well, fuck, I'm just near this building, or I'm in this elevator going up.
No, no, I definitely don't think that.
Mm, and you're one of the lucky ones. Um,
Anymore?
I just came across the photo that I was talking about the for Phobia, where the stairs, and it just doesn't make any damn sense. Why are there stairs? What is going on?
Let me see.
Uh, I don't know if you'd be able to catch the. I don't know if you'd be able to catch the thumbnail of this one, but um, well, yeah, actually, you would be able to. Hold on. Yeah, if I just post that in the Discord, there you go. Yeah,
yeah, that's it's stairs and like there's siding to them as if like there would be walls on the side.
yeah.
And they just lead to a dead end. No, that's not spooky. That's just okay. Though I will watch this video later.
Yeah, that's a good one. Phrygophobia.
Is it fear of fridges?
You're close.
Fear of being put into a fridge?
No.
Fear of being frozen?
Oh, there it is.
No.
It's basically an abnormal fear of just being cold. So,
no, I don't have a fear of being cold. I don't like being cold. I'm cold right now. I'm not afraid to be cold though. But I have to keep the heater off during these. Otherwise you'll be able to hear it. How many more of these do you got?
I got 5 more.
All right, let's power through
them. You're not even going to believe this one, but I'm just going to pose it to you. Dumbassophobia.
Fear of dumbasses?
Mm-hmm.
No. Next.
Porcellophobia. Which is the fear of just not being able to sorry, my bad. The fear of like storms.
No, I'm not a dog.
A lot of people are very afraid of like thunderstorms and just raging winds.
Yeah, a lot of people are dogs. Dogs are people. Next.
Clithrophobia. It's so funny.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna say finish that off with a T. Clithrophobia. Fear of clits.
Oh, you already know where this is going. Oh, you're gonna like this one after this one. But clithrophobia is a fear of being trapped, similar to claustrophobia, which is just fear of tight spaces. This one is just you are trapped with nowhere to go. This could be mental at the same time, physical.
Yeah, it depends on the situation. Probably more so physically, though.
All right, last couple of one.
Last couple
Mastrophobia,
of one. Master Phobia.
fear of breasts.
Huh. No. No. I feel bad for anybody who's scared of a little titty.
Remember, there's a horror game. This is going to lead into the last one here, but there's a horror game where it explored the developers' fear of just like the opposite sex, basically.
Huh.
And I'm like, well, it put something into perspective, regardless of how you feel about it. But it was like, man, that's something that somebody can go through. Jeez.
That sounds vaguely familiar.
Uh, I couldn't tell you what the game is, but I can tell you what the phobia is. Genophobia. Fear of intercourse.
No.
I think I had to think on it. I mean,
Now, I made a fart noise.
well, that was it. How'd you do, dear viewer?
How'd you do? You fear you scared a little titty? You got a fear of a little clit? Let us know. You like clits? Let us know. Well, let's close off this horror talk with a couple of things. So RE8 stream mentioned it yesterday. Some just wanted to say again that good stuff, interesting stuff. I love the whole idea for the setting for RE8. And it's definitely Resident Evil. And I like the one character mechanic wise that's making a return from one of the previous games. And I'm looking forward to all that because the character itself, I already like them. And I haven't played the demo yet that's out on PS5, but I'm looking to stream that.
You fuckers, Capcom.
Soon. Well, they're gonna have a PC demo out, or sorry, a new demo out for all consoles later on. Yeah, from what they said in the stream, there's no combat or blocking like there was in RE7 for this demo. And you're not playing as Mr. Main Character in the demo.
I like how you went through all that effort of just going them just to be more promiscuous about it and then just go Mr. Main Character.
Oh, no, them is alluding to somebody else completely differently.
Oh.
And I mean, Mr. Them has been all over the marketing for it.
Mr. Them like, could be anybody.
I mean, you know who the main character for RE8 is, right?
Yes, Leon Kennedy, as it always has been.
Yeah, yeah, he was the star in RE7 as well.
Indeed.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Him,
especially Resident Evil
and
Gaiden.
His wife, Claire Kennedy.
Claire Kennedy, with their cat Albert Whiskers. Well, all this horror talk had also reminded me of a Netflix horror series that I had offhandedly seen in Excessive Profanities stream chat. Somebody had recommended it because they had said, quote, it was one of the scariest things I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, cool. It's nearly Halloween. Let's fucking watch a thing. So, have you heard of the French? That's surprising. You haven't heard of the French?
Go on. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Have you heard of the French Netflix series Marianne?
Well, no.
Well,
No, I haven't.
I just found out it's not getting a second season, which, all right. um,
Are you into it?
yeah.
Is that why?
So I went into it, and I was like, okay, slow build up so far, but that's what I probably expect out of a good horror series. I forget how long it was. I think it's like 12 episodes, and they're like 40-ish minutes
Yeah, that
each.
sounds about right.
But it's about this author who writes this horror series, and she's stopping the series with I think the character dying at the end, because she wants to write other things. Well, she's from this small town that she got away from, where like all of her friends and family live, and this is where she had written the series. But eventually gets to the point in which it's like she was writing this series to keep like an actual monster from the book at bay. You find this out within like the first 2 episodes, so no spoilers. But it turned out to be, she goes, because she's an author, she goes to her hometown with her agent because one of her old friends gets into an accident, to say the least. So she has to go see her mother, because her mother is a diehard fan of the author, and she's been doing some crazy shit. But it just ended up turning into, there was like some suspenseful bits. I didn't really jump at anything. I don't get scared all that easily, except for like maybe games that really put me into it, like Inunaki Tunnel, for example. Great game if you went right.
So I've heard.
I mean, it's a great game regardless, because it builds on. Is there something?
I didn't know there was another ending to it. I thought it was just you go, you do thing happen. I don't.
Well, I slight spoiler talk for anybody who hasn't finished it for the next like minute. I just really appreciate that it's like you can, because I was so fucking like scared of like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? Oh fuck, these decrepit ass tunnels. And then it's like you can go through the whole damn game feeling suspense, and if you go left, you just walk out of there, call the police, and then they come around and pick you up, and that's it. But if you go right, you find a dead dog, and then an actual ghost of the forest you're trying to record comes out, and then you have to run the fuck away. And it's like, I was waiting for that moment, but it's like, I really appreciate that you can just go through the whole game so suspenseful, and just nothing can happen at all. And then there's also an ending, a secret ending. I forget how you get it, but you go out to the same like ending point, and you wait for the police to show up after you make a phone call, and this fucking black like demon dog comes running out from the woods, from the path.
I'm sorry.
Chases you down, makes the loudest noise.
Oh man.
Black demon dog.
No, because I mean, you just took like a slight pause. You were like, "This black."
I don't know how to describe it. It's so fucking weird looking.
Oh man.
It's like untextured for the most part. It's just this being with like these piercing eyes. It's almost like a bobcat or a panther, maybe. Anyway, good game. But yeah, so Marianne just turned into being just, it was like, oh, I'm gonna get drunk with all my friends. Hey, remember when I liked you? Oh man, that was crazy. I have a family now. Aw, dang. Guess we can't fuck.
So is
Yep. Going back to my family. And then I stopped watching it at the point in which the author got sauced up, and she went over to her friend's house because she was invited to dinner, and she says this to her agent because her agent goes with her on this trip. She's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna try to fuck him. Let's see how strong his marriage is." And I basically stopped within like the next 2 minutes. I was like,
Crust.
you know what? It keeps goddamn doing nothing with it. This isn't scary. This is just irritating. I don't like this character.
You fight better than you fuck.
I fought mud crabs more fierce than you.
He didn't get the reference, everybody.
I fucked mud crabs more fierce than you.
He didn't get it.
It sounds familiar.
300. The bad one.
It's been a while.
I was gonna bring, because it sounded interesting until, well, that, but I was like, oh, so it's like Stephen King's Misery, one of my favorite books.
No, not at all.
Yeah, that's
Just because I said author.
well, no, that
Oh, and super fan. The mom was a super fan. No, not at all.
so I thought it was something akin to that, but then I was like, oh, okay, well, that veered off into completely different things. But Misery was a hell of a book, though, because
Did not read Misery. Did not watch the movie.
oh
I have
well,
heard good
just
things.
well then it was good. It had Bruce Willis in it. The action.
Yeah, that's a guy.
He doesn't know who Bruce Willis is.
No, just recent stupid shit Bruce Willis did. Could care less for him now.
I don't read into nobody's shit.
Just that he was thinking he was bigger than a plague going around, and thought he could do whatever he wanted. And just keep it at that. Just this old man. It's like, okay, old man.
And on that bombshell. I mean, I guess this would be a good time to end it, man. Because, I mean, hey, at least I didn't end it at 2 hours and 58 minutes unless you somehow prolong this, huh?
I know you. What you got to talk about? Ending stuff that's gonna take 13 minutes. So, guys, I gotta say, the recent Destiny update, man, I was right all along. Everybody, you're all bad. You all suck. Listen to me,
Oh,
Mr. Destiny.
okay.
My name is Mr. Destiny.
We have Joe Blackburn on the case for Destiny 2 now. I like this guy. He was around for Forsaken, and anybody that was around during the Forsaken era of Destiny, they're all right in my book. I've been saying for the past several years now.
I'll see y'all in 13 minutes.
No. I'm posing this to you. I've been saying this for a little bit now, not a couple of years, because that would be strange, but for a while I've been saying that we need to get rid of the current head of development, who is Luke Smith. Sorry, I just have to remember his goddamn face, and I'm just like filled with red. But Luke Smith basically has put in all of the ideas and just like his vision towards the game, and it's like, well, whatever.
But he doesn't have that directive power.
Yeah. One of the running jokes is that Bungie just knows how to, like, they know how to go like 4 steps back, but then simultaneously they'll go 6 steps backwards on top of that, and it's like, holy fuck, dude, you had an idea here. If it would have just worked, and you guys didn't half-ass it or whatever is happening. There was I wanted to actually bring this up to you because I thought you'd get a laugh out of this, but I had brought up in our Games of 2020 episode where I just felt like I brought up the term Reddit syndrome, or sorry, Fortnite syndrome, where a company will basically take in a lot of communication from the community on just that particular forum, or maybe the game's official forum on their own
Mm.
website. But they'll take in a lot of suggestions, sometimes critiques, and however valid they may be, they take in a lot of it. And you kind of have to for a game that is a live service. Like, you're depending on the community to
Mm.
tell you, yeah, this is what I like and this is what I don't like. The problem arises when you're just saying, oh, well, I don't like this and I think you should just add this, 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 and whatever. That is, there was a Reddit post over the weekend where it was like, you guys don't know dick about game development. And when I had read that headline, I was like, yes, there we go. There we go, baby. That's what we need. And he was like, I had worked as a developer for X project and yada yada for however many years. And I can tell you guys this, you don't know shit.
See, I thought this was about to be an entitled post.
No. Um, but yeah, a lot of people needed to hear that. Because I mean, it happens so often on that Reddit. You'll enjoy Destiny for what it is, and that's what I've tried. Like last season, before Beyond Light launched, and when you were kind of playing it, I was making it a point not to view any media for the game, and my enjoyment of Destiny 2 went up immensely because I was just focused on what I know. I'm having fun.
Right.
But fuck what you guys are talking about, whatever. I'm having fun, and apparently a lot of people really enjoyed that season because I mean that was before everything got squashed down and condensed and stuff got shoved and shelved. Um, but what's interesting is that we have basically a new guy at the helm, quote unquote. We don't really know what the case is for him, but we know that so far since he's been back in Bungie, he was working with Riot for a bit. Presumably to work on Valorant, and I guess he's just back on Bungie now.
Rip.
Uh, Joe Blackburn is his name, and we're hoping for a lot of good things out of him. Like so far, the stuff that he's been saying is it's kind of looking up. So we're hoping that whatever vision he has is just going to be what this game kind of needs in order to retain that player retention. Because right now retention rate is it's getting dicey.
Right. Yeah.
So we'll see. We only have 3 more weeks left of this current Destiny season, so we're holding out.
I mean, hey, that's what happens when you cut off. How many plants was it? 6.
It's not even necessarily, just cutting the content. I mean, it's certainly there's certainly something.
I mean,
about
if you're talking about interest, I think 6 planets is going to cut some of that because like less places to go.
Well, there's that, but it was more to do with just cutting, or sorry, removing weaponry, removing loot from your looter shooter. There's less of a grind, there's less of an incentive. The problem with a lot of these areas that got cut was that none of it was really like useful. Like even before the term sunsetting was in the fold,
Sure.
nobody would go to Mars because there's no reason to be at Mars. Like that, such a useless destination if you're X whatever power. The raid that takes place on Earth, it can only go so far because I mean the weapons there, they look nice, but they weren't in meta. There's only one certain item that you actually need from it. It's whatever. So it's just like we get it, but at the same time, you could have just made the content like feasible. Like why? Like just keep it in, and people will still get their use out of it. I mean that last season proved that. But the problem that we're just faced with is that this whole sunsetting business has kind of just ruined the game. Like it doesn't fit. If I got you into Diablo 3 overnight and I showed you the best sword in the game, it can one shot anybody from level 1 all the way up to 100. And I had showed you that weapon and you're using that weapon. And then all of a sudden next week a patch comes out and the patch just reads, okay, so starting from now until the release of Diablo 4, we are going to give weapons a shelf life. Here are the weapons that will be affected by this. And the sword that I had showed you that you've been using since you've been playing is just no longer useful because there's a shelf
Well, I
life on
sure
it.
hope you mean I sure hope you mean the royal you. Catch me fucking dead playing Diablo 3.
But
Were you posing me a question about that though? Destiny?
I I wanted to bring you into the fact that you had played the previous season. You know where the game was at, and
Yeah.
you know where, from offhandedly, from just well, my conversation, you just know that well, right now the game is
Yes.
just not really in a good state. You wouldn't see this in a game like Monster Hunter. Imagine if that sort of shit would happen in Red Dead. Even all of a sudden the show field just has a shelf life on it. And whenever the outlaw pass for this season is done, we get the next season, and then all of a sudden you can't use the show field. It's like, oh,
Better yet, they cut out like New Hanover and like West Elizabeth, and but they let you go to Mexico now. Okay, but we still have New Austin. It's Mexico, just slightly more inhabited.
eh,
Maybe.
it's just awkward to me that you can sit there as a director and say, yeah, this is good for the game. Like this is what people are gonna like be thrilled about, is that the weapons they've you have to do certain activities to earn certain weapons, and all of a sudden they're gone because we said
Yeah.
so. It's like, oh, well, now what? I have to use a limited kit, limited supply of weapons that everybody else is going to be using. I had talked about this last week. It's just not. It's not good, and there's a lot of burnout right now because of it. You start running into the problem of I am now regrinding something that I had gotten a couple of years ago because you reintroduced it into the loophole, and I just can't use my own version that I had because you thought it was a good idea to put a shelf life on this version that I had. And
Right.
it's just it doesn't make much sense. I would love to see any other game do this and then somehow get away with it, just to see what that's like.
Yeah, it'd be like you're not allowed to use Oh, I mean, at least with Monster Hunter World and like Iceborne, like they rotate some of the like event monsters out that they added as expansions. But it's like you can still play them during like seasonal events. But it'd be like completely removing that, and you're not allowed to hunt that monster anymore. It's not in the environment anymore. Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
You're no longer allowed to use the diamond pickaxe after the next update.
The diamond pickaxe.
You gotta swap over to iron only.
Oh,
Sorry, fucko.
get you you get you play Monster Hunter World.
Soon when it's like 80 cents again.
Yeah, someday whenever it's on sale more. Um, well, before we do wrap this up, I mentioned earlier about PS2 stuff, and I did
Oh,
mention
right,
that
right. Sorry.
in your chat. Oh no, it's fine. I'm happy I actually remembered. Um, we got 2 minutes, by the way. We did it. 13 minutes of Destiny. Almost. Just this past week, I had bought an HDMI adapter for my PlayStation 2, which means
All right.
instead of using the old audio video cables that are white and yellow and red, or sometimes green and blue, now I can just hook it up to my Elgato through a switcher, and then it hooks right into my main monitor. So it's like, yeah, I can play OG hardware PS2 games, And now I'm actually able to stream them as well, which is something I've been wanting to do for a while. Yeah, surprisingly less difficult than I thought it would be. I thought I'd need a couple of components, but it's like the HDMI adapter I think was like $20-$30. It was very well priced. Just to be specific on what exactly I got. I got the Pound HDMI HD link cable, compatible with PS1 and PS2. So yeah, that's I played that the other day just to test it out a little bit. And aside from having a lack of space right now to put the PS2 somewhere, runs fine, runs good, looks pretty accurate. I feel
Invest
for the most part
in a desk shelf. Can organize your stuff a little neater too, if you had one. Put your PS2 on the old desk shelf. Put I don't know, just more cable management too. So I'd imagine you have a bunch of cables just kind of nilly-willy on the desk.
No, not on the desk so much. All my cables for the most part are tucked behind my monitors. There's a space I could possibly put it to the right where my printer is. The only issue being that my printer's there, and I should mention too, I have one of the thin PS2s. I don't have one of the fat ones.
Is your printer wireless?
Yes, technically, but I hate having to do anything with it, so it's staying plugged in.
Well, now you're just being difficult.
Yep. I think I tried to set it up wirelessly, and it was just a fucking pain in the ass because it's HP. We don't have time to go into that, but I absolutely hate everything about printers and just the entire printing industry and ink. I hate printing ink.
There we go.
Anyway, there's more to it than that. But so I have I pulled out all of my PS2 games. I have some in a cabinet nearby. Some of the like rare ones or ones that I really value, and then I pulled all my other ones out of a box. Same with some of my PS1 games as well. So I played the other day, just test a couple things. I played the original Star Wars Battlefront 2. That ran pretty bad.
I'd imagine.
Yeah. It was still playable, and I got used to it. I was like, yeah, this is how this was. I remember now, but fuck. I can't even guess what the frame rate was at, but it was like probably 20. It was probably like 2024. It was pretty bad.
I was wondering, like, how was like the switch to you, like just going from like what you perceive like games right now is like, 120 FPS or 60 FPS
Well,
games.
I never play anything in 120.
Well, no, I get that, but like you know what I mean, just like games how they run now compared to just like back then where it's forced aspect and 30 FPS, if that.
If possible, I will always take frame rate over quality. Always.
Well, that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking, so you're playing something on the PS2.
Mm-hmm.
The game possibly could run at 30 FPS, if that. How is the switch from playing something that is at or near 60 FPS to just going all the way back down to like 30 to maybe 20s?
Oh. I can imagine somebody not used to it and somebody who's like maybe didn't even own like a retro console at this point. They won't be able to get used to it so easily. With me playing Battlefront, it took me maybe like all of, I don't know, 5-10 minutes to be like, all right, I'm in the zone. Like, because the lower the frame rate, of course, the shittier it fucking controls. And like, I was playing in third person. I wasn't playing in first person. but it's like it's still a shooter, so the analog sticks and the frame rate, they're just like it's hard to play it, but the quality's still
We
there at the
make
very
do. We
least.
make do.
Pretty much. So it's a matter of getting used to it. Something like that. On the other side of the retrospective, though, I had played Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith, which is a fantastic, I guess it'd be like a character action game. Maybe? Because you can like put in like points into new like abilities for like your lightsaber and your force powers. You can upgrade Anakin and Obi-Wan as you play through these like story missions throughout episode 3. And then it also has a multiplayer versus mode in which you and another player can fight each other as different characters. Like you can play as Anakin, Obi-Wan, Count Dooku, Mace Windu, General Grievous, who is overpowered, and he still is to this day. Playing him again. You can play as Darth Vader, old Obi-Wan, and I think that is... Oh, and then 2 side characters they added in to episode 3, like part of the Jedi Temple, whenever Anakin does his thing. It's a master and his youngling, or apprentice rather. So you can play as them, and it's so funny seeing like the live actors, their faces on the portraits for like the character select, and then just having these fucking made for the game characters that like aren't even based off an actual actor. So it's like it's like putting like a real life person up next to like an anime character almost.
Welcome to
It's so jarring. But no, that still plays so well. The frame rate for that was pretty good. I felt like that handled a pretty stable 30. Combat's very fun. The multiplayer versus mode was still pretty fun. And then I lastly had tried Kingsfield 4, The Ancient City, one of my favorite games I've played in the past couple of years. I played it on an emulator for the PS2. And have you ever seen any gameplay of that?
Mm-mm. Yeah.
So it's kind of like a precursor to the Dark Souls series. It was made by FromSoft. Except it's kind of like a dungeon crawler in a sort of way, but it's like it's in first person. The controls for it though are really awkward. They're like tank controls in first person. So you move forward and backward with forward and backward, but left and right turns you, and you strafe using L1 and R1, and then you look up and down using L2 and R2. It sounds really fucking awkward, but it does work. It can work, and you do get used to it. You have to get used to it.
Yeah,
but the enemies, the environments...
For it now, that looks... I couldn't imagine going all the way back to that. Like, it's hard doing that on, like, Diablo.
It's so fucking immersive and fun, though, exploring throughout the ancient city and the kingdom. But, like, the music, too, is incredible for that game. The combat is... You press a button, there's a stamina bar. The more stamina in your bar, the harder the attack will hit and the more damage it'll do. There's no block button, even though you can have shields. It just adds to your defense. But like I said, I played that originally on an emulator, and it had a couple of issues, but nothing major. So I was like, oh shit, now I can, finally play. This is part of the reason I got the HDMI adapter to begin with. I can play Kingsfield 4, The Ancient City, on OG hardware whenever I decide to stream this. I was thinking of streaming Kingsfield when I hit like 1,000 followers on Twitch. Uh, so the thing with emulators is, they're kind of good and they get updated. And it has dead zones. With the original Kingsfield 4 for the PS2, they want you to use the directional buttons in a 3D open space like that in first person. If you use the analog stick on the PS2 version without like running it on an emulator, you cannot move diagonally, or like you can't move forward and like turn at all. And it's like I beat the game on the emulator, but I would not be able to get used to or just play Kingsfield on OG hardware. It does not play good because of the dead zone.
I mean, that's how it used to be,
which
though.
It's such a fucking shame. Okay. But it's like, again, I just don't understand why they didn't use the analog stick. Instead, they reverted to using the directional buttons.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, some games used to be like that. Where you... It seemed better to control it just through a D-pad. And I'm not saying this for, like, every game, but, like, there were some games out there where it's like, okay, if I can control
I
this
totally understand
through a D-pad, I'd rather just do that, if I'm being honest with you.
Right. Yeah, like 2D games, like I understand that. They can play better with using directional buttons.
Not even like platformers are just 2D, but they
I mean, that's what I would put that into, but even then it's just like I love the analog stick. I don't like using directional buttons if I can. But aside from that, I got some games down the line that I can possibly stream, so I'm looking forward to that. I will definitely be streaming at some point. You remember the TV show, or have you heard of the TV show American Chopper?
Mm-hmm.
For those that don't know, it's a motorcycle kind of show where it's like they build a bike and then they ride it out. Well, this fucking game, it takes place, with the characters from the show. And the voice acting is terrible. The cutscenes are terrible. The missions are pretty bad. It's fun to ride your bike around. The soundtrack is kind of fun. But, like, my favorite part of that game is whenever you're racing somebody and you can, like, bump into them and knock them off their bike, even if you're, like, doing a friendly race with somebody. Or just even if you get close. The other biker, they won't actually say any dialogue. They'll sound like this. You get up close to them, and you hear them, and they sound like... And then just imagine that throughout the entire race.
Sorry, do it again?
So that...
Okay, there we go. You got that limiter thingy going on there for me. So I just heard... Yep. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you heard it, right? So yeah, that game is hilarious, and I'm gonna have fun streaming that. And then I had bought a couple of games as well. Some of which I either played or I heard were good, or I got good deals on them. So just on Friday, I got in the mail Onimusha, Dawn of Dreams, which I had seen Epic Name Bro playing recently, which that looks rad as hell. And the person who sent me that, they own a, I guess, little shop, like a collectible shop. And they were also selling other PS2 games. So I was like, okay, let me see your collection. And so I ended up picking up 5 other PS2 games. So I got Medal of Honor Frontline, Medal of Honor Rising Sun, those both I've played. Black, which I've heard for years is one of the best FPS games ever made. So I was like, all right, fine. It's like $7. I might as well. Godfather, the game.
I love
Actually,
Godfather.
have you played that?
Of course.
Yeah, surprisingly better than you think a movie tie-in game would be. Because it's like almost kind of not. Because you get to customize your own character and whatnot. And then last but not least, I picked up Resident Evil Outbreak for a pretty good price. Yeah, I was trying to see if they had File 2. They don't. And then I looked up prices for File 2, and it gets to be a little bit pricier. But I picked it up for $11, and it's like, otherwise I've seen it listed for like $15 to like $30 to $50 and up. So it's like I saved a couple bucks, but even then, it's like I've heard that it's good. So I'll give it a try at some point. And then finally, I will be streaming this as soon as it probably comes in the mail. I got I never beat it, but it was such a damn fun game, and I got it because it does not run well on emulators. But that would be the Capcom underrated classic Shadow of Rome, which is it mixes like gladiator combat with stealth sections.
Yeah.
Have you seen anything about that?
Yeah. Yep, it's
fucking sick as hell. It's also really difficult, last I remember.
That's a trip down memory lane.
Yeah. So so I'm looking forward to getting all that together and to start streaming some of these games. No, I've been wondering if I should stream them in their respective categories for like maybe some of them, or if I should just keep this all to retro. So I'll probably keep it to retro, because retro gets some good traffic.
I would probably check through some sites though, just to see if like.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. I know. I forget the name of the site, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, no, retro is probably going to be the better choice. Because, I mean, like, stuff like Metal Gear, it's like, you could still stream that in its respective category. But,
It depends on the game, though. It's like, if it has a bigger, like, something like Metal Gear, people are gonna go, oh, well, this, I need the nostalgia kick. I'm gonna see if somebody's streaming that. So if it's, like, on retro, which, it's gonna have, like, a lot of traffic. It's like poker. It's like, what version of poker, first of all, and second? Is this on like some sort of browser? Are we watching actual people play it? What's going on?
Right.
So it's just dependent on what it is.
Yeah. But like Shadow of Rome, I was looking on Twitch earlier. And I probably might be better off streaming that in retro.
You fuck off if you think that. Oh my god, you're off your nut if you think you did. Okay. Right, whatever.
I mean, there were people streaming it.
Yeah, okay, but
there was like 8. There were 8 people streaming it.
You know the last time I've heard of Shadow of Rome?
I don't know.
Just
what
now.
Was the last time you?
Off your fucking rocker if you think it's a good game. Like, I'm not gonna give it. It's just I haven't heard of that game in so fucking long.
Yeah. What do you mean I'm not going to get famous off of Shadow of Rome and Medal of Honor Rising Sun?
Yeah, I think I should put that in retro though. Yeah, I think that one should go in retro. Yeah, for sure.
Guys, I'm quitting my job. I'm going to become a retro streamer. I'm only going to stream Medal of Honor games.
It just does better, bro.
I don't know why I'm not getting the numbers now. I put everything into this. I don't get it.
I
Anyway, that's what's been going on with me.
uh,
Excited for that.
on February the 2nd, I will be streaming Division 2 once again due to the Resident Evil crossover.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see what that's all about. Log in, get you a free transmog, get Leon Kennedy's original Stars outfit. That's fun. This week though, in our current when this goes live, I will have already started streaming Ghost Recon due to the Rainbow Six crossover event. I'm assuming this will lead into the new Rainbow Six game. You log in now and you get some new AI teammates with new unique behaviors from Rainbow Six Siege. So that's going to be fun. And also, it's just cool to take a look at Breakpoint as it is now and not what it was during beta. Steven and I talk about it every so often, but it was like, man, if that game would have ran better, I'm pretty sure you'd play it on and off if I was playing it. Steven's not really too big into, though I try. He's not too big into mill sims. So when Ghost Recon Breakpoint was on the horizon, I was like, oh man, this is my chance to get Steven in on some mill sim action. Casual maybe, but mill sim action, let's go. And then we played the closed beta, and that ran like shit on his hardware. I remember I was just scraping by on a 1660 Ti, and I was like, yeah, this is barely making the cut. But it runs better now, and the game is a lot better now than where it was initially. So we're going to take a look at that. Also have plans on showing off all the neat builds I've been working on Path of Exile. The expansion kicked off a week ago, so I've been kind of late to the party. So I've just been trying to grind and get up to the point where I feel comfortable enough showing off builds and all the other cool stuff they can do. But that's about it. Catch all of that stuff on Twitch, which you can find in the description, or if you're lazy as fuck, Aegis CXVII, I'm there.
You did it. I'm so proud of you.
Not gonna make a habit of it, but it's there.
That's all for your week going forward.
Unless a certain someone just,
A certain someone what?
Nope. All right. Well, I'll be playing Job Simulator. Probably record it, see how that goes. But I'll be streaming and retroactively recording it at the same time, uploading that. It's really fun. Just bought it, saw clips here and there, and I'm just like, oh, it's a fun game.
Looks fun from what I've seen years ago.
Fun little game. Finally beats well, not beats, no, I still have one more boss to go, but I'm at the end of In Death Unchained. That's that VR roguelite.
Oh, okay.
And man,
How's that been?
that game is incredible, and like the amount of depth that it goes into towards the end, it's like, wow. It's so fun, and you're learning about archery as you go along and seeing how accurate you can be and learning all these neat bow techniques. It's fun. It's a fun little game. Can play it sitting or standing, which I appreciate. Always have accessibility features, and for people like me that just want to sit down for a little bit, relax.
Yeah. Remember you mentioning.
That's why I really appreciate Half-Life Alyx. And play that laying down if you really wanted to.
Yay.
But yeah, that's basically what's going down the pipeline. I have a entire backlog of my You might have heard of her, my critically acclaimed horror variety power hour.
Yep.
I have a huge backlog of those videos that I've edited, and it's just a matter of me releasing them and not being so goddamn lazy. So
you just put them up there, show them in there.
Got it. A lot of good ones in there. A lot of good indies. Would like to show them.
Yeah, I need to catch up on a lot of horror games. I can't name too many specifically, but like
exactly.
what was it, Collection X?
Dread X, yeah.
Thank you. Dread X Collection, rather.
Waiting on number 4 right now.
Yeah, I need to. I haven't played any of that, but it's like I already have so much going down my stuff, backlog and whatnot. It's like it's just another thing that's gonna have to wait.
I really wanted to finish that on stream. I was very close to finishing 3. So
quick, stream it now.
Yeah, stream it now.
Let the podcast and the stream mix a little.
Yeah, let's just start playing games. Break out the webcam. Let's get on the PS2 real quick. See how that's going.
Yep, next 3 hours will just be just. Hey, so how's that going? It's going pretty good.
What you playing?
Yeah, I'm playing Monster Hunter.
Oh, okay. On Path of Exile at the moment.
Cool.
Yep.
Now that's the kind of talk they should have had in the Division 1 trailer.
I'm playing an entirely different game than the game that's being represented.
Hey guys, what's up? Nice.
Okay, well,
got him. Yo.
What if we reenact it? We'll save this for next week's episode. We'll reenact it. We'll do like a bit. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be dope.
Memorize your lines.
We're gonna run the video at the same time. We're gonna.
Wow, what great listening content.
We're gonna run the video at the same time, and then we're just gonna try to reenact it, but instead of how they had acted it out, we're just gonna be this. It's gonna be this right here. Yeah, so I picked up this gun though. It's pretty good. Does like.
Oh my god, dude! Shut the fuck up! Turn off your mic!
Oh, is it too loud?
Nobody cares what gun you got! Shut up!
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
God, I hate when these kids log on. Game's ruined by children. Ugh, I hate when Christmas players come on.
Whatever, bro. You're still in your mom's basement. Prove it.
I'll fucking fight you, man.
Where you live. Well, Mel, it's
so anyway,
about that. Nope. Gotta cut it off. Go to bed.
I got more Code Vein coming up this week. That's probably it.
That's
just more Code Vein.
That's a good.
Have fun. Yeah, Code Veins. Have fun with Code Vein. If you want to watch some Code Vein, you want to watch me make fun of it a little bit and get kind of pissed because, man, stripper boss.
What's your?
She was a bitch.
Oh yeah, buddy. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. What's my what?
What's your I forget what the classes are. I mean, I forget what they're called, like the name for them. But what's your
blood code?
Yeah, there you go. What's your?
It's Hunter right now.
Oh.
I mean, it'd be more apt to ask what weapon I'm using.
No.
Okay. I'm using the gun-sorted gun.
I didn't ask.
Bayonet.
I asked what you're.
I'm telling.
I'm
telling one viewer in their mind had asked.
I wonder.
I'm telling
I wonder
them.
what weapon he's using. The fuck is he asking? What blood code he's using? What is he on about?
Gun sorted gun. So anyway, if you want to see gun sorted gun shooting combat, tune in sometimes this week. Twitch.tv/Malistrom. You can also find me on the Twitters. Same name. That's all I got. Just waiting on Shadow of Rome. Oh, and then maybe the RE8 demo at some point. I'd like to get that out of the way. That's it. That's all I got. I'm cold.
Ain't that right? Ain't
It is.
that right?
It is.
I sometimes use Atlas, but then sometimes I use Assassin. So there's that.
Yeah, sometimes when I use a search engine, I use Google, but I usually use Bing.
Because sometimes I'm bad at the open world combat, so I have to use Atlas so I can stay alive.
I don't even remember which one Atlas is.
Too bad. I think that's the right one. I don't know. I know Assassin's one of them. Has to be.
I don't know. They just have skills. And some of them are better than others. And just
Objectively wrong, Mallet.
max proficiency, the skill, and then there you go.
Objectively wrong. Each code is unique to the character it belongs to. Yep. 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 I bet you run Hunter.
No, I would never.
Yeah, because you use a bayonet. Obviously, you would need such a crutch.
Nah, I use a Bardiche.
Ooh. Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Take that, stripper boss. Dumb bimbo.
I didn't notice I got it after I beat the boss, because I spent like 2.5 to 3 hours on her. Because bayonet builds starting out are not easy to work with. Because you can't just one-shot everything. Not why I'm running it, by the way. I just like the fact that instead of actually hitting enemies with a weapon, I could just shoot them.
Yeah.
And then I fill up my Ichor again, and then I shoot them.
I forget what I was actually running. I know I like the bayonets, though. They're pretty cool. Especially the backstep that they do, just to pop somebody in the face with a rifle. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I'm looking into getting the Libertador, Ava's
I beg your pardon.
bayonet, apparently. Because like it has much longer range than the starting out bayonet. The range on that is pitiful, so it's like I have to really fucking get up close into there, use it like a shotgun, but not like a real shotgun.
Get up
like
in
a
'em.
video game shotgun. Yeah, exactly. Get up in that butt and then blast them.
Blast them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, join us on tomorrow's stream where Alice is gonna play Diablo 3 for the first time in his life. It's gonna be a very exciting time.
Yeah, definitely.
For
you buying it?
Of course.
Do I have to make a Blizzard account?
It's actually free. For the for a couple of levels, and then if you like it, you can keep your progress. Do
I have to make a Blizzard account?
Of course. The fuck? How the fuck are you gonna log on to an online game without an account? What? No, they just know me at Blizzard.
I don't know what kind of game it is. I mean, like, not every online game requires an account, like with Steam. That's fine.
Because then just use your Steam account.
I'd be fine with that. But if I have to make a Blizzard account, no.
You are off your nut today. You are.
I deleted my Blizzard account.
I bet it was during when War.
It was. It was.
Gosh, I bet it was during when Warcraft 3 had came out.
Oh no, definitely not then. Before that, with was it Blitzchung?
Oh man.
I don't use Blizzard.
Oh
I
man.
hardly even play any
Mala,
Blizzard games.
Mala, Mala, Mala. On that bombshell. Good night, everybody. Stay safe. Join us next week when I bring the hardest of memes and offhandedly mention Destiny for no legitimate reason on a podcast that's not related to Destiny. Let's go.
It's general video games.
Anything else
It's
to
general.
add, Mel, before we
Uh,
say goodbye?
be respectful. Wear your mask. Who are you protecting by not wearing your mask, eh? Nobody. Wear your mask. Be nice to other people.
God damn it.
God damn it. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care.
Bye bye.